over. Very.
I'm sorry, she doesn't speak English. She's Dutch. She just came over.
Hallo, ik ben blij dat je gekomen bent.
Sinterklaas kapoentje, geef het in mijn schoentje.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Santa's coming to town.
Santa, oh ho ho, come this way.
Yippee-ki-yay,
That beautiful, wonderful nose.
You serious, Clark?
It's looking like winter on the lawn and window pane. Built a friendly neighbor, made of snow a friendly face. He was looking real happy, but now the kids are tucked for night. What could we do?
Oh, what could we do
to cheer him up till morning light?
Iced coffee for a snowman,
'Cause it's hard to be outside. Iced coffee for a snowman. It won't warm up his inside.
Oh, that mission was not very tinsel, Wayne. Not very tinsel at all.
When it snows, even if you're made of it. A winter coat, scarf, a hat. What to make of it? So give him a treat. Not a warm thing to eat, but a super chilly fun way to say I love you. Like iced coffee for a snowman. It won't warm up his insides. He's looking so lonely under moon and starlit glow. A nighttime watchman with a smile, a broom to hold. It sure was fun to build him, but now the children all have gone. What could we do?
oh what could we do
To keep him festive on the lawn. Iced coffee for a snowman.
Oh, hello, Wayne. What brings you here? Well, I'm just doing a little last-minute
Iced coffee
Christmas
for a
shopping.
snowman. It won't warm up his inside. Oh, when it snows, even if you're bit. Oh, when it snows, a coat, scarf,
Merry Christmas.
what to make
Merry
of it.
Christmas,
Christmas,
Give
Mr.
him a
Hooper.
treat, give him a treat, not a warm thing to eat.
Hey, the spring up, jingle bells are ringing out.
It's a time for giving.
Banana, sweet call shout for Santa. Santa, Santa's on his way.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
Come this way.
That's right.
Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?
Jingle, jingle bells ringing out. But I cannot wait for shout for Santa, Santa. Santa's on his way. Santa, Santa.
From the redwoods of California to the hills of Tennessee, to the Rockies in the Sunshine State and Maine with that bright and shining sea. From coast to coast in North America, it's time for your host with the most, bringing you all the entertainment news that should be fun. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the WDW Pro Show!
In a world in which franchises are being broken every day, only one man, cloned, can save the day. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll wipe smog from your eyes. Join Lorne Connor as he takes on an epic quest. It's Lord of the Rings.
One sword to guide me, one heart to bind me.
All I have to do is drop it in time now, Frodo Lord.
My fingers don't want to let go.
Well, my fingers don't want to let go of a good time. Hey, Jonas J. Campbell, how are you today, sir?
Well, I was doing pretty well until you turned off the amazing trailer. That looks like a great movie.
You know what? There should be 4 of those. Who knows? Maybe they'll show up soon.
I would pay $24 to see that in IMAX 3D. I'm just saying.
Lord of the Rings. And put it in the what do they call it? The Globe at Vegas? That's where it needs to be.
Sphere, yeah.
The Sphere. Oh, yes. Well,
that old Shakespeare thing. The Sphere.
Oh, you're right. You're right. How dare I be so Victorian? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back yet again. It's time for some fun, my friends, and it is a Thursday. And I just want to say this with the most, we need to be serious for a moment before we get started. I know, Lauren. It's tough to go from yeah, exactly. So let me say this with as much gravitas as I can muster.
Oh my.
Steve Wiltwan Daddy. Good to you, mister. I put hair in funky places.
What?
Jonas, this is literally a super chat that was sent to us last night that we are never going to let go of.
What?
It's like Ron Bradley. It is on the way. That is what Snarky to Stink Nugget sent to us literally last night. I don't know if he was drunk. I don't know if he was high on the nuggets. I don't know if his finger slipped, but literally sent us a super chat last night that said, Steve, which one, Daddy? Good to you.
Well,
mister, I put hair in funky places.
Snarky D can say whatever he wants because Snarky D became a member at the VI Pro level.
Hey, Snarky! And Snarky, you're just in time. We've got a member exclusive Club 23 that's just for the top 2 levels, and you'll be able to be on the panel at the end of this month. So happy that you're there in the VI Pro position. Welcome, Snarky, and please keep putting the hair in all the funky places.
I just want to say my favorite part of that exchange was immediately after you read that. Steve said, well, why wouldn't you?
Hey, Ron, they're calling you Swole Ron now in the chat. I don't know if you know this. Are you aware of this? Do you know this nickname?
There's Swole Ron.
Is this secretly Dean? Is Dean out in our audience listening in right now? There's Swole Ron. If it was Japanese Superman, I'd go with it. There's Swole Ron. What's up?
I'm working on it.
I mean, look at this man, folks. You can tell he's been to the gym. Look at him, okay? He's not just throwing around Christmas gifts. Shoulders are growing by the day, Ron. Look at it. Oh my gosh, he's actually hiding. He's hiding from us. How swole he might be. Ron, welcome aboard, buddy.
Thank you. Good to be here always.
Jonas, would you like to show the crowd what was bestowed upon us today? What happened?
Yeah. Absolutely.
As you do, Ron, are you actually working out because you're wanting that Gaston role that's been rumored? Are you in the running for Gaston again?
I wish. That'd be. I would take it. I would take it for sure. So that's the favorite role I've ever played. Plus, I hated the live action Gaston. I like the actor. I don't think that he was right for that role.
How many eggs a day are you downing in preparations of playing Gaston?
The equivalent of, I don't know, 4 dozen eggs. Well, 5 dozen eggs. You know. Now I'm trying to get roughly the size of a barge, right?
Yeah.
He knows the line.
So here's the
Do I have
thing. that we're
biceps
all-
to spare yet?
Dude.
Jeez Louise, look at this man go. Watch him go. Jonas, you can't do that, can you? You got frozen shoulders.
Exactly. But you know who doesn't have frozen shoulders? Packing Protons for $300. Final movie of the year, Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny for you. 70s psychedelic movies fun.
We will watch it. We will take great care not to lose this channel based on what Packing is sending us, because Birdemic just about took us out of the skies. And Packing, you'll be very happy to know that we're not done, sir. We're not done. We will get your revenge. We will avenge you, sir. We together are going to go back to the feathers of Birdemic in January for part 2 of our live reaction. So we will get both of these for you, Packing. And I hesitate to tell the folks out there because Lauren may strangle me. It may be like Homer versus Bart right now. But Lauren, do you know what the Super Chat reward is for today? If we hit I set it at 50. It's as high as YouTube will allow.
That's why I was shaking my fist at the screen during the prologue.
Folks, if we hit the 50 Super Chat goal, we will watch Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny twice. We will watch it 2 times.
You and Lauren? That's amazing that you and Lauren are signing up.
No. We're just going to tell Kevin Apollo we're having, we're having a big party. Free McRibs, come on over. And then once he's there, Birdemic and Ice Cream Bunny. It'll work out well. Yeah. And he won't hate us at all or leave the channel or stop being our friends.
You and Lauren and Kevin, that's an amazing combo of people that are the ones that are watching this movie.
And I'll tell Vash that we've discovered a cure for kidney stones.
Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call?
1.21 gigawatts!
Perfect.
Look at that.
But you know what this place needs, Jonas? It needs a little Christmas spirit. It needs a little green. And so in honor of Packing Proton sending us $300 to watch an absolute terrible movie, Jonas, we're gifting 10 memberships in the name of Packing Protons for all of you out there to come along, join us, and watch it together with us. Now you've went from gray to green. Welcome aboard to all of our new members of the channel.
Look at that. Sephiroth for £5. I have been thinking about E33 getting best RPG. Oh, Expedition 33. I would have had best RPG, Expedition 33, and best open world for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This would be the best of both worlds.
Do they have an award at the video game thing for a best open world? Do they have that? I don't know.
I think Chrono Trigger probably should have won for both.
Them's fighting words around some of our authors around here, Jonas. They're big fans. Marvin now is a huge fan of Claire Obscure. Huge fan.
It may be a great game, but if we're going to throw around the word best, it's
very French.
I'm just going to say this: when Chrono Trigger came out, they kind of gave up on 2D RPGs. It was all downhill from there.
Downhill.
Did come in and got a VI Pro membership, and then for $5 more, top of the morning to you. Last night wasn't just chocolate and chicken; it was gold. Have a great day.
Which one, Daddy? Good to you, mister. I put hair in funky places. The song is coming, Snarky. Get ready.
Yep.
And will there be dancing nuggies? Yes. Yes, there will be dancing nuggies in the background.
Snarky D. Juliet for £20. Juliet, you don't have to do that. You already do so much as a mod.
You're already working on this thing. What are you doing giving us money?
And share.
That's
and
right.
she said it 15 minutes before the pro show began.
And I think this is a great time to remind everybody out there, we have the best wrenches and mods on the web. Able to hold lightning strikes still with a single wrench.
Amazing. Butter Biscuit for $5. Will Toyn Daddy. That was so funny. I just finished watching that stream. Thank you guys for all the laughs because work is painful right now.
Hey,
just don't go close on anybody.
It's one of our jobs. And I'm going to tell you, last night was so much fun. We had 4 stories we were supposed to cover. We're going to get the 4th one today. Couldn't make it. Barely got in the 3rd one in 2 hours because you all, the community here, became a part of the show to the point that, I mean, we couldn't stop laughing. We were having such a great time. All of the super chats, all the fun. It was a great one. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of it. It is a community effort out there and here.
Yep. Let's see. Zen Latin gifted 1 WDW Pro membership.
Thank you, Zen Latin. Best doggo on the web.
Yep. And then Pastor of Muppets gifted 5 WDW Pro memberships.
I mean, really, is it hard being green around here? Is it so hard being green when there are people like Pastor of Muppets?
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was heard.
Ninja Pat for $5. Yes, more Lorne of the Rings genius.
We'll do more of it. Listen, we'll do more. You have not yet seen Lorne play the part of Gollum, and that's going to be a great time.
Oh my! He doesn't come in until Lord of the Rings, the 2 Towers, though. Flying blind on a rocket cycle for $5. Watched part of yesterday's stream this morn. Lorne, those ladies can't really eat chili. Me, I do not need to know how he learned that.
I think that's what kicked off last night's live stream was. And by the way, we got to say thank you, folks. We had 500 to 600 concurrent viewers last night, and I really didn't think it was possible. We went up against an Oval Office address. Film Threat has been doing their incredible funeral, not for Star Wars this time, but for Star Trek. Doomcock was having one heck of an audience as he's doing his holiday special. And I just thought, and Geeks and Gamers, they were doing their Mario Kart. And we love all those channels. We love all those guys, and we want to support them too. And I thought, whatever we do, it'll be fine tonight because there's just so much going on in the world right now. We had 500 to 600, and I swear it's because we talked about Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande emissions. And legitimately, it's a real story. We covered it out of the UK. It's the craziest, wokest story ever. Ever. Loved it.
Yep. Let's see what else we got here. Doge Pal for $2. Celebrate. Netflix will delete the She-Ra reboot. Yeah.
She-Ra.
The Princesses of Power. And, well, I never got around to it on Everything Woke. I'll say that.
What a shame. What a shame. Snarf.
Toad the Jam for $5. This sounds like a snarky tweet. For the Ice Cream Bunny Fund.
For the Ice Cream Bunny Fund. Yes, they want us to watch it twice, Jonas. But they're not going to do it. I just want to. Why have I put the goal at 50 and said that we would watch this terrible, awful movie twice? Lauren, the reason is because I know, and they're never going to hit that goal.
Stop it.
They're not going to do it.
I would stop it. I want to remind everybody, if you go in for this goal, you have to, if you have any honor, then you have to simultaneously watch it with us. You have to queue it up and watch it as well so that our reactions make sense. So do with that information what you will.
Where can they find Santa Claus and the Ice Cream Bunny?
Staring into the abyss of their soul, I think. I watched the trailer for this thing the other day, and I'm not sure what would have motivated somebody to make this movie. I'm not sure who would have bankrolled it, although it wouldn't have taken that much. How Proton ever stumbled upon it, I don't know. I can only assume that it is penance for some wrongdoing that he did in the past.
It's on Tubi for free, but that'll
imagine that.
Your future. So yeah, that is amazing to me to think that people would pay super chats so that they can watch this along with Pro and Lauren and Kevin Apollo.
Yeah, so let's talk about this because
surely you'll be joining us for this. You wouldn't want to miss out on the masterpiece of writing and dialogue and cinematography that is Santa Claus and the Ice Cream Bunny.
Could wish my son Zayden a Merry Pro Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Zayden. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas from all of us here at the Pro Channel.
Yep.
Hey guys, I'm starting to wonder though about our thinking abilities because Ron, Jeremy and the crew over at Geeks and Gamers, they get together and they play Mario Kart, and people watch them, and they pay for them to do silly rules for Mario Kart, and we're watching multi-hour horrifically bad movies. Like, how did we wind up where we are now doing our thing, being tortured, and they're playing Mario Kart? Clearly, we have screwed up royally strategically on this. Something is amiss. Something is not adrift like they're drifting across those courses.
Something. Hey, I wanted to say that to Z the Zombie, Zayden, very, very cool name, in line with my two sons who also have names starting with the Z sound.
Oh. Pastor of Muppets for $5. Challenge accepted. Are we really?
Stop it.
Yeah, listen. We're 20 minutes in and we're not even 10 out of 50. We're fine. This is not going to happen.
Stop it. Come on. It's the holidays, bro.
4 hours. How long is the movie?
Too long.
Lord, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year through.
John, you take that money back. We talked about this.
John Maynor for $5. Here is to the Bun Fund.
Oh, the Bun. Oh, I do like the Bun Fund. John, this one's for you. We appreciate it, buddy. Here you go. Click on the thing, bro. Where's it at? Oh, there it go.
When a pirate shares his treasure with you, know that it came at a cost, even from the likes of someone such as Captain John Maynor.
Jonas, let's grab. We got about 450 joining us already for the first story, and we got to get to it. Let's do about 4 more super chats, and then we'll go to the first story. We'll come back. Never leave one behind.
All right. As of October 2, the Raptor for $5. A melted Furby bunny, a Twilight Zone special versus Smurfs in space. Which will win? The melted Furby bunny might be better than Ice Cream Bunny.
So it depends. Are we like winning? What is winning in this? Is winning how horrifically bad it could be, or is winning like we would maybe suffer less? I think Smurfs in space after that Rihanna Smurfette thing, like I don't want any part of Smurfs, and neither does any other company. So I'm going with melted Furby bunny, a Twilight Zone special.
Yeah. At some point, the Smurfs just became a really old joke where children use this word Smurf as a bleep word as a joke, and that was old in the 90s.
Well, it's Snarf and original.
Can I steal control for a moment?
No. Yeah, I think you can physically. Yes.
All right. I want to give you guys a taste. Whoop. This is what we're looking at here.
What is this?
This is Santa Claus and the Ice Cream Bunny.
That's not the Ice Cream Bunny. That's like a guy in a ape suit.
You know what? Actually, scroll up to that headline because I know how Packing is finding these things now.
There's the, see that?
Yeah.
Look, gaze into the face of horror.
I'm pretty sure that's that little creature that lives on the moon with Rita Repulsa. Ice Cream, go down the headline. This is how he's finding this. I'll guarantee you. Packing, I'm on to you. Movie rates worst of all time. I'll guarantee you he's Googling movie worst of all time. Those words are in his Google queries that he's looking up. There's no way he knows about this stuff. He's finding it.
Look at this poster. First of all, pay attention to the fact that it's a black background. Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny, the amazing story of Santa in big trouble and his exciting rescue by the daring Ice Cream Bunny. It's breathtaking fun for all.
Is that where they got the idea for Red One?
Lorna, are you suggesting you're not convinced by the marketing of the movie?
I think they spent a nickel on it.
Oh. Well, that's generous. Jonas, 3 more generous offerings on screen, please.
King of Games 2007 for $20. For Vash Guy, I know you have issues with K-stones. Tell him to take Chunka Piedra as a tea, aka seed underleaf, aka stone crusher. Supports UTIs, helps remove kidney stones, prostate support, antiviral.
Do you all know? We found out last night. You know, we make fun of Vash, and rightfully so. I thought.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Because the man clearly has a souvenir kidney stone. He's had it now for years. Like, I don't know. He won't let go of it. Let the thing move out of the nest. And the nest is your kidney. And then, Jonas, we found out that just like Mexican Iron Man, it was all fun to laugh along with Mike over his fortunes with Disney until we found out how many zeros were involved in the money he lost, and it wasn't funny anymore. Kind of made you cringe. Same thing with Vash, finding out that he's actually suffering every day with the kidney stone. It almost makes me feel bad about playing.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Like, in a few days, I might feel badly.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
But then again, maybe in the end, it was all worth it to help him get the motivation to get rid of the little sea urchin.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Who knows really the morality of it? I don't.
You say cover 3 super chats, but we're doing a manifesto on each one of these super chats. So the first Dragon Queen for 5. You know what, Lauren? I will jump in to watch this movie too, twice.
Dragon Queen, I would play your clip twice, but Jonas he's shunned me. I've been shamed.
I haven't shunned you. Played the clip, and then we kept going. Then
no, I can't play the clip. Nope.
It's back and forth. We got these volleys attached to each and every one of them. He's just trying to interrupt me, guys. Mark Fields, member for 5. Positive vibes to you all. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you so much. One more, Jonas. One more.
Interrupt me. Uno mas. Packing Protons for $5. The 20s and 10s should count to the goal.
Wait a minute. Is Packing now trying to game the system a little bit, Jonas? What do you think?
You think he's lowering down?
Return the Dragon Queen.
Hey, Jonas. You see what I did there?
Uh-huh.
Well, what do we have here, folks? We've got a James Cameron that doesn't think that Avatar is going to do so well, maybe. That's at least what we're starting to wonder, because Marvin Montanaro has this out of that Park Place. Is James Cameron, never means shrimp, not in this context, leaving Avatar? Director again signals possible exit as Fire and Ash faces franchise crossroads. Here's what we know. James Cameron is once again openly questioning how much longer he wants to remain tethered to Avatar before leaving the franchise. And this time, the financial stakes surrounding Avatar, Fire, and Ash may finally force the issue. In a wide-ranging interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Cameron repeatedly frames Fire and Ash as a decisive moment, not just for the franchise's future, but for his own creative direction. While the film is tracking for a strong domestic opening by most industry standards, the numbers point toward an uncomfortable reality. Even a $100 million opening would likely place Fire and Ash on track to become the lowest-grossing Avatar to date. For a franchise built on unprecedented budgets and expectations, that distinction matters. Gentlemen, I don't know of many times when the big kahuna behind a film, and I think James Cameron is probably the biggest, most well-known name attached to Avatar. Sorry, Sigourney. I don't know of many times when that kind of person comes out before the release and says, I might be done with this. I don't know of many times when that goes well. So I'm starting to worry about Avatar's box office. Do you think that this is the tell? Do you think that James Cameron is kind of setting the stage so that he can walk away if it doesn't perform? Like, is this really it for him?
This was something that he was all gung-ho about for many, many years. And it's only recently, I think, that he's begun changing his tunes, which makes me wonder, what is it that he's seen or heard that is suddenly making him distance himself from his own auteur project? I don't know if it's box office forecasts or if it is test screenings or just, seeing what's happened to the box office in general. But he's obviously trying to put some distance between it, and I would guess also possibly pass the blame to somebody else. It wouldn't surprise me if he starts saying that there's been studio interference at some point.
Yeah, I'll tell you, things are not looking necessarily bad, but maybe not good. If you go to Deadline right now, Anthony D'Alessandro and Nancy Tartaglione, both with this one, Avatar Fire and Ash to set the world ablaze with $340 to $380 million box office opening. That sounds pretty darn good, right? I mean, that's amazing. That's fantastic numbers until you look at it a little more closely. It says, here it is, the final finale pretty much of the box office year with 20th Century Studios' James Cameron threequel Avatar Fire and Ash. It is expected to be the king of the world this frame with a worldwide first weekend of 340 to 380, which would be behind the global start of Avatar The Way of Water, which in like for likes did 444. Now let's just give us an easy number to play with, and let's say that it does 350. It's just about $100 million behind the last one, even as movie ticket prices have gone up. And I don't think James Cameron's the kind of guy who says, you know what? Let's eke out another one and see if it drops another 100 mil. I don't think that's what he wants to do. This is also a movie that seems to have almost no cultural impact domestically where he lives. It's largely driven globally, so maybe he's just saying to himself, you know, I want to be known for stuff like Titanic and Terminator. I'm not going to be stuck in this world forever. Ron, your thoughts on it?
Well, it's the story. Like you go watch Avatar. I have enjoyed both of the Avatar movies so far in the theater, but I will tell you, the last one, I went to see it 3D IMAX, and I walked out of the theater, and I don't think I could have told you what the story was 5 minutes later. But the spectacle was amazing. It was like spending money for a ride. You know, it was much more like going on a 3-hour long theme park ride than it was watching a movie. As a matter of fact, there's an hour within the middle of Way of Water where there's literally no story being told. It's just scenery and playing around in the water. And that's fine for what these movies are, but without the cultural impact, they die out very quickly because, okay, we saw the first one was like the breakthrough CGI over a decade ago. The next one was, okay, how has it updated? Has it lived? Remember the first one actually created that ring of like 3D televisions that got sold. I know because I bought one of them. I had a 3D TV for a while, and then that it was like a fad. It played out, and there's the second movie, spectacle, great, but the story is like it's lacking. And now you've got Fire and Ash, and from what I'm hearing, it's very much of a rehash of the last movie. It's very, very similar. So there's not a lot of, people get invested in characters like with Star Wars. Lauren knows this, Han, Luke, Leia, that dynamic between those characters, Darth Vader, great villain. You don't have a great villain in Avatar. You killed him off, brought him back. It was weird. It's very, very convoluted. And it's just, you watch it, and again, it's so much spectacle, and then you forget the story. And where else is he going to go after Fire and Ash? I was thinking to myself, okay, maybe his biggest problem is that his next world was going to be ice. And right now, domestically, the U.S. kind of doesn't like ice. So
not even, sorry, Vanilla Ice isn't even thinking about that anymore. Jonas, we're also sitting here in a situation, and I have not yet, at the time of this recording, I have not seen the film. I'm going to in short order. However, I can look right now at the top critics. And as we talked about in the past, I think there's a proclivity for the critics to do everything they can to support these kinds of films because the industry actually is teetering at the edge. So we've talked about this. We've warned people about this. We're here now. Theaters may not survive. And you're looking at the Netflix deal and Warner Brothers. Really, I mean, the critics who cover movies, it's now an existential crisis that they give everything they can to help these movies. And yet the top critics on Rotten Tomatoes, we don't yet have the score for criticlist.com, which we recommend. The top critic score is 55%, Jonas. That is splat territory, even if it's not showing that yet.
I don't know. I think critics going after this film, first of all, that to me says that there's probably not a lot of messaging in the film because they would give it some kind of rousing applause for the messaging that's in the film. I wonder if these are critic proof because everyone, at least in the United States, from a U.S. perspective, it's really easy to hate on Avatar because it was forever ago. It's Fern Gully, it's Pocahontas, all those things that everyone says about it, and it's a little light on story and big on spectacle. And if you liked it, there's not a lot to latch on to. It's one of those stories that's just spiritual enough that people have an easy time mocking it and not such an easy time defending it. So I don't know. The critic score, I think, won't matter because the critics have never really loved Avatar outside of the box office and outside of the imagery.
But at this point, as we look at these jellyfish inflated haggis stomach flying ship things, at this point, does James Cameron want to be attached to a 55%? Because he's at that age where he wants the accolades. He wants to be. Oh, you want me to go back to the jellyfish haggis ships?
No,
let's see if we can find him.
About James Cameron,
he's happy about it.
I wonder.
Oh, there's the butt of one of these things, Jonas. You're welcome.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, he did kind of do away with the USB port linking that has to be done. There was a lot less of that in the second film than there was in the first film. So the same way he mates with his wife is the same way he connects to his horse. That was weird. So,
just everybody. This is so good.
Yeah.
Jonas, what have you had today? What are you on there?
I've watched over 6 hours of Avatar this week.
And can I tell you, okay, so one of the problems with me reviewing this film is the same problem that's going to perhaps hurt it at the box office, Jonas, which is I've got to go. This is a huge commitment for me. So I got to do a live show where we're going to do the review, right? Okay, so that's going to take time. But also I got to drive to the theater. I got to go through 30 minutes of previews. This thing is 3 hours long. Jonas, this is a 4-hour commitment.
Right.
And then, yeah.
Usually I'll go to a late show and I'll do that, but I started to put it in the schedule so my wife knows. Don't expect me to be available. And I was going to go see it at 9:30 tonight. Well, then I added 3 hours. Well, no, it's not 3 hours. It's 3 hours and 15 minutes. And then the last movie I went to see had a full half hour of previews on it. So we're already at 3 hours and 45 minutes. So when I was looking at it, I would not be done with this movie until at least 1:15 in the morning, starting from a 9:30 showing of this film. So that is a lot of time. I'm actually thinking about bringing my laptop with me into the theater so that I can get some work done during this.
They'll totally allow that. Nobody's going to get angry at you for that one.
At my local, they don't care at my local theater. They're just happy.
They know you.
They don't. It's not that they know me. It's that they're struggling to get by. So the price of getting people to work in that theater that care about that theater is higher than they can then pay them. So,
oh, hello, Mr. Campbell. Right this way, Mr. Campbell. We've got your seat warmed up for you, Mr. Campbell. Would you like a moist towelette, Mr. Campbell? We've got that for you, sir.
Here's a free How to Train Your Dragon popcorn bucket. No popcorn though. That's $80 per handful.
We kept it in storage for you for the past 6 months, sir. We knew you wanted it. It's all yours, pal. Folks, here's James.
I think
go ahead.
Cameron fine with these movies, and then he had to start doing press for number 3, and then all of a sudden I don't know if I want to do any more of these.
I'm supposed to be on the submarine trying to find another sunk ship somewhere or discovered a new species. That's James Cameron. All right, folks, we'll see what happens at the box office, but things not looking great for Avatar, and it's too late to save this year's box office. We'll talk about that next week, but probably 2025 going to come short of 2024. Comes down to this weekend, basically. We'll see how things play out. But 2024, they said, oh my, we can't do this again. And then they failed to even match it this year. Theaters truly in trouble. We'll be tracking it for you to let you know culturally where we'll be next year. All right, Jonas, what do we got?
Flying blind on a rocket cycle for $5. May your holidays be filled with bunny pellets.
Oh, no.
Do they do the pellets?
Let me tell you a little secret, Jonas. Lauren, it's okay. Take a breath, okay? Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay.
Are you seeing what's happening?
Lauren, we are 40 minutes in.
Uh-huh.
I have to go, literally after this show, I have to fly to go to the theater to see Avatar on time. Then I'm going to do the live review tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll be back to do the live review. Okay. We're 40 minutes in. They're only at 22 out of 50.
Only.
All the effort. Listen, Lauren, you know how this is. They're petering out. They're tuckered already, okay?
Stop it.
They're tuckered.
I know what you're doing. Stop it. Don't encourage this.
Yep. Packing Protons for $5. Never challenge the chat.
I'm not challenging you. I'm just telling you that, listen, Packing, there are orphans, okay? There are orphans, and it's the Christmas season. Are you really going to make us watch this movie twice? Is that really how you want to spend your holiday Yuletide cash? No.
Santa makes this. He checks it twice. And Pro watches Santa Claus and the Ice Bunny twice. Ice Cream
So
Bunny.
nice.
Sorry. Noah Knox Marshall for $10. Merry Christmas from a location scout in Columbus for our next film, Alibi Store. Saw Fire and Ash 2 weeks ago. Meh. Action and 3D were strong, but like 1 and 2, it doesn't stick to your heart or memory. I bet Quaritch is in it again. So.
Yeah, and I want to thank Noah for reaching out. And we always try to protect our folks out there, especially when it comes to what can you say before a movie comes out. I want to thank you, though, for some heads up you've been helping us out with. Very kind of you. And we'll always take care of our sources. Noah's a great one and is out there actually making original content. We look forward to sending that signal over to Noah as the 2026 year gets on. And thank you so much for being out there.
Packing Protons for $5. They get close-ups of Santa sweating in the Florida heat in this one.
No. That's Ernest Saves Christmas. You're confused, Packing.
You know, to Maine Burn. Packing Protons for $5. You have to find the Golden Goose version of Ice Cream Bunny. Wait till you see the goose.
Wait a minute. There's different. I mean, is there like a director's cut? How many of these are there? We got to get this right. I mean, you spent $300 for us to suffer. So you tell us which version. I didn't realize they have multiple formats of this film. Frankly, I'm surprised it has one available.
This super chat has big wait till they get a load of me energy. So,
oh no.
Fat Steven JFG member for 12, wishing the best for all this holiday season. Thank you.
That's
very
right.
much.
Folks, Steven is the man behind the art here on the channel. He is the greatest YouTube thumbnail artist of all time. We mean that sincerely. And by the way, we're hoping to have Steven on the show next week as we get ready for our Christmas schedule, as you Brits out there say. So, Stephen, hope you'll be able to join us next week. We would love to have you be on the panel.
Awesome. Packing Protons for $5. Ice Cream Bunny was done by Pirates World, a Florida amusement park. And no, you can thank Riff Tracks. There you go.
Don't let him fool you. He didn't know about this movie 2 weeks ago. He Googled it, worst movies of all time. He found it. We said, ha, he Googled it. And then got on Wikipedia real quick to see if he could find some factoid to prove us, no, Packy, we're on to you. We know what you're up to. You've never seen this thing. You look like it's so obvious that you just visited the Wikipedia page to find out, there's a Golden Goose version. We know what you're up to, Packing.
Roused Hour 20 years later. That's all I got to say. Sephiroth for £5. I just watched the first minute. They looked out to door, and you can see the outside of Santa's workshop is made of cardboard. Well, good luck with that. You guys,
can I tell you all a secret? Here's what's going to happen, okay? Packing's playing with fire, all right? What's going to happen is next month, if he keeps this up, I'm going to name the movie, and he's going to have to come on the panel with us, and he's going to have to suffer through my choice for worst movie ever. So watch it, Packing. We're coming for you, bud. We're coming for you.
Inside Out 2. SFX Saber the Raptor for $5. Avatar 6, The Melted Furby Bunny's Last Stand. The search for more money, customers, relevance, cultural impact, and story. Bun Fund.
Bun Fund. Can I just say, it looks to me like Packing's cheating, which is no surprise, really. But I'm looking at the chat, and I see the signs of a cheater. I mean, really, can he do this? I don't think he can. I don't think he should.
I feel like Susan Summers would have sponsored the Bun Fund.
You call her Suzanne around this place, buddy.
That's right. Sorry.
Don't you dare. You respect the Thigh Master.
You went exactly where I was going to go. Chef Eddie for $2. In Avatar 4, the main villain will be Gargamel. That's good. La 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 la. Stormweaver for $5 Canadian. Hi.
What is the name of the cat? What is Gargamel's cat's name? I don't remember now.
Azrael.
How did you know that? You're right. It is.
It's out of the Bible.
Yep. Yep. Stormweaver for 5 says hi. And then for 10, WDW Pro. And then for 15, Lauren Connor. For 20, Ron Bradley. For 25, Ron Bradley again. For 30 and 35, Jonas J. Campbell.
Why did Ron get 2? I don't understand. What did you do, Ron? You're double special.
Hope.
I said hi to him.
Wait. 50. Everyone. 55 is.
Are we literally super chatting single words now so that I'm defeated and Lauren's nightmare comes true?
WDW Pro, Lauren Connor, Ron Bradley, and Jonas J. Campbell. Hope everyone. Wait. Is well.
Getting less so by the second.
What do you call a camel that has 3 humps?
I don't know. What do you call?
Pregnant.
No, it can't be.
But it is Stormweaver.
We need rest. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised.
Oh, Joe Miller, you just found the marble in the oatmeal. You're a lucky little boy, because you know why? You get to drink from the fire hose! Okay, you ready? Yeah! Open wide!
My favorite part about that clip is it's so obvious watching it that they shot the water right beside his head. I mean, it never makes contact, but I mean, just it's so fun. So fun that they actually shot a water cannon right next to a kid. Go Weird Al, go.
Yep. Bagging Protons for $5. Does Mr. Campbell's Theater ask if he wants the senior discount? No, but they turn a blind eye to the clearly Canadians I'm packing in my.
Are you seriously taking a glass bottle of clearly Canadian into the theater?
Psst. Oh, I just want to say, psst. It's gonna be great.
Psst, honey, this trailer's great. You're gonna love it. Why is that man talking to himself? He's whispering into the air.
Yeah. And why is he lighting up his clearly Canadians with his laptop? Bagging Protons for 5 more. 1. And then
this is cheating.
We're at 15 now. 2, then 20.
Cheating.
There was 2 Ice Cream Bunny versions. One has a Thumbelina story. One has a giant story. Second one. Okay. You
Okay,
guys,
what's got the golden goose in it? You told us we got to watch the golden goose. Do we have to watch Thumbelina or Giant?
I think he's saying the second one is the one that
okay.
Watch.
All right. We'll come back to the super chats, folks. It's gonna be a failed effort. They're gonna wind up like 48.
Stop. We're not an hour in.
Something is amiss when it comes to Warner Brothers and the fact that they're missing out on all the fun of Paramount. Turns out, ladies and gentlemen, they are, they're a little bit hostile to the hostile takeover out of Variety by Todd Spangler. Warner Brothers Discovery rejects Paramount $30 per share acquisition offer, calls it inferior to Netflix deal, and alleges the Ellisons, that's the former friends of the President of the United States, aren't providing a full backstop for financing. Now, let me translate this for you. Basically, what David Zaslav and the board of Warner Brothers are saying is that the Ellisons are liars in a more than $100 billion offer. This is crazy. We have reached crazy levels. And can I just say to everybody, this company is not worth more than $100 billion. It is 1,000% not worth it. Now, I get that we're in an auction, and for these companies, for Netflix, they can destroy the theaters and call it a day. And for Paramount, they can win so many IPs that they actually could defeat Disney. I get it. But this company on its own, just measured, not in some sort of meta way, but just measured in terms of what it has, what it owns, there's no way it's worth $100 billion. Come on! Well, let me tell you something. Warner Brothers board remains committed to Netflix deal. Asserts Paramount Skydance's $9 billion merger cost synergies target would make Hollywood weaker, not stronger. Warner Brothers Discovery's board has formally said no thanks to the $108 billion takeover bid from David Ellison's Paramount Skydance and unanimously reiterated support for the Netflix deal. That wasn't enough. They had to go and say Paramount is lying, essentially. That's where things get really weird, really strange. Here's the quote. The terms of the Netflix merger are superior. The Paramount Skydance offer provides inadequate value and imposes numerous significant risks and costs on Warner Brothers Discovery. According to the WBD board's letter, Paramount has consistently, listen to this. We're in nutso land. Jonas, I'm going to go to you first on this because really, you're kind of in unprecedented territory with this. According to the Warner Brothers Discovery board letter, Paramount has consistently misled shareholders that its proposed transaction has a full backstop from the Ellison family. It does not and never has. And then on top of that, because that's plenty, right? To call your potential next owner liars,
right?
Who are misleading your shareholders. They went ahead and brought over the Netflix top guys to do a little walkthrough of their new home, as if this is a home sale and they're getting to do the walkthrough tour. Jonas, what in the world is going on here? This is not operating like any traditional or normal transaction at this level, ever, never.
Well, I don't know. Looking at the way that we don't know what Rupert Murdoch did with the Fox deal with Disney, and supposedly was going to go to Comcast. With this, there's some things that happened in recent history that need to be brought up that might have made David Zaslav a little salty. First of all, there's the fact that David Ellison was sending Zaslav texts and things like that. Apparently, a lot of those went unanswered. And in the Paramount filing that went to shareholders in a way that was, you could say it was behind David Zaslav's back, although it ends up being public because it's an SEC filing. They said in the Paramount filing that there was no response from David Zaslav or the shareholders, or the board members for that offer that ended up totaling to $108 billion. That could look really bad if that came up and was completely true from a Warner Brothers board of directors and CEO standpoint. That's something that reflects poorly on David Zaslav. So I wonder if in all of this, David Zaslav was looking for some way to stick it to Paramount just a little bit, because if that number could be a little bit higher from Paramount, that will solve a lot of problems. But if they can make it look like David Ellison is not playing with a full deck here, or if he's trying to do a little sleight of hand with the shareholders, I think that's something that maybe David Zaslav is trying to put the shareholders at ease and maybe get the shareholders on David Zaslav's side. There was also a statement from David Zaslav that he said, I thought it was inappropriate that Paramount was offering to personally pay me with their offer as well. So I wonder.
There's and that's crazy, right? I mean,
it is crazy.
The idea that a giant CEO who makes millions is aggravated, annoyed that he's going to get more millions, right?
Right. Well, him being annoyed by it is different from the appearance of impropriety. So, that's the kind of thing they might accuse Netflix of trying to do in all of this. There's also the fact that when Bob Iger was negotiating the Fox deal, the Disney board put in a provision to say that if the deal goes through, Bob Iger gets $100 million. Okay. Well, if I send my kid to the store and say negotiate to try to get the price of what I'm sending you to buy down by at least 50 cents, but regardless, I'm going to pay you $100 million if you buy whatever it is. Is he going to work too hard to negotiate that price down, or is he just going to go in and say, yeah, okay, I'll buy this from you, and maybe I'll pay $1 million, but I'll pay it after I get my $100 million. There's so many little clauses and things that happen in these huge deals that they're playing hardball at this point. I do think he's right in pointing out that this doesn't have a backstop with Larry Ellison, who's the real money here at Paramount. That is, the Saudis can offer whatever amount of money. Jared Kushner, who's now out of the deal, can offer whatever amount of money. But the real money here is Larry Ellison, who owns Oracle, who can make enough to buy or sell this in a day. That's a little bit of exaggeration, but Oracle has flirted with being $1 trillion market cap company, and that's mostly held by the Ellison family. They also tried to represent that the Ellison Family Trust was the one who was backing this deal, but none of Larry Ellison's Oracle stock is in that trust. So Valiant Renegade has a lot of great material on this that you all need to be watching to cover this. But everybody has a point, but also I think this is a little bit of David Zaslav saying, well, you stick a finger in my eye, I'm going to stick a little finger in your eye too.
So I totally agree. The interesting thing to me is we've got two options here. So option number one is that Netflix gets this thing and it's the end of theaters. I don't see any way around that. I know Netflix is trying to assuage the fears, but they're going to destroy the theaters. We all know it. And the other option is that Paramount Skydance really does buy this for a price that they hate, that they can't stand. And they can't stand anybody at Warner Brothers anymore either. And that's going to be a total cleaning of the house for leadership. So this is really about as high stakes as you can get. Ron, what are your thoughts about how this is playing out? It's gotten very ugly, and now you've even got the situation where Skydance has been backed into a corner because the Ellisons have they've lost, I guess, the allyship for the moment of the president because he's not keen on their coverage for CBS News and 60 Minutes. What are your thoughts, Ron, on how this plays out and what's at stake?
It's become a soap opera drama just as much as Days of Our Lives, which I believe was filmed on the Warner Brothers set there, because I've stepped on that set. I think the whole thing has become crazy from where it started, which, if I'm right about this, am I right in thinking that it actually started with Paramount coming to Warner Brothers first to make some type of an offer, and then it started to become a juggling match back and forth, and then Comcast came in. Netflix is now the winner, sort of. We don't really know what's going to end up, but it obviously shows the amount of, I don't know if it's business or if it's passion for entertainment. I would hope that it would be passion for entertainment, but I don't think it is. And that's the sad part to me about this whole thing. I wish that this whole fight was about, well, if this is really about the passion to keep entertainment that's good going out to audiences who will love it and respond, and then the money will flow because it's a good thing, right? It just doesn't feel like that. And it's going to be hard, I think, to end up with either one of these companies whenever the deal is finally done in the end, and everything is resolved. I don't know that anything great ends up coming out of it at this point in time. I still like the idea of Paramount being the winner, because I think that if Netflix gets Warner Brothers and keeps a lot of the same people on both of those companies, I just don't see the entertainment coming out being very, very good, being very high quality, being something that all audiences will respond to well. Also, like you said, they could wipe out theaters, and the theatrical experience, I think, is still a very important experience to have the opportunity. It's gotten expensive for a family, but at the same time, like when we go on the lesser expensive days and we find the bargains and we still have a really good time going out to the movies, it's a unique experience, and it's part of our culture. And I hate to see that go away. And I think that if Netflix ends up winning this thing, that eventually does go away, and maybe goes away a lot faster than it would otherwise. Paramount ends up winning the day, and the shareholders actually speak to what I think would be the best deal for the shareholders. I still think that it ends up being the better deal for everybody. It'll be very, very interesting to see what comes out of this going forward, no matter who gets it. In my own mind, I just think that we're all, like the audience, people that are going to be watching, people that are going to be subscribing, people that are going to be paying for entertainment, I think are better served by Paramount winning the day on this.
Lauren, that is That was a wonderful dissection of what's happening here from Ron. I don't know what else we can add to that. I think it's exactly what's going down, but Lauren theaters might be going down. And that's what's getting lost in all of this, is that if Netflix finishes this thing off, then they may finish off an experience that we've been having for a century. And I don't know, maybe if one company can do that, maybe it was just a matter of time anyway. But I hate to see it happen, and I think we are at the precipice of seeing theaters gone. In fact, depending on how this plays out, maybe now less than a decade before a lot of those theaters are Goodwills and Spirit Halloween stores. Your thoughts?
I remain an optimist on this front. I don't think that the theater experience is going to be killed completely. I do think that right now people are avoiding going to the theaters. I think a lot of that has to do with the quality of the content that they're getting and the economic situation that we're in right now. If we start getting decent movies again at some point in the future, there is an experience you can get at the theater that you cannot get even if you have a very nice home theater. You miss the communal experience. I don't think that's ever going to go completely away. So I'm not completely doom and gloom on this. I think the regulators, especially not only here but in Europe, are also going to have something to say about this. I don't think the fat lady is sung yet. I'm just going to sit back and watch what happens over the next couple of years.
Now, I want to bring up a super chat real quick, and we don't normally do this in the middle of a segment, but Aldo Casabona wants to know, from a member for 7 months, why do they have to sell? Can't they just keep it? And to answer that, Aldo, is why would Warner Brothers want to keep it? It's currently being valued at least 3 times higher than I think it's worth in this giant tug of war to see if they can get it. So if you're David Zaslav and your company just tripled in value, and if you keep it, it goes back to where it was or lower, well, that's not going to work. Folks, I want to bring on an expert right now to talk us through the ins and outs of this. Please welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, a friend of the channel and a friend to you as well, Tom Connors of Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark. Tom, welcome to the panel. The 3 people out there are big fans. Tom, yes. Would you please walk us through your thoughts on this situation as it's unfolding?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on this, and it appears to me that there's some things you guys are either not aware of or just haven't been keeping up with, because this is a very big mess.
Tom, that's why we've got you here. Get us through it. What do we got? Okay, what do we got?
So where do I start with this? Well, first of all, I have to push back a little bit. I think Warner Brothers is worth close to 100 million, if not more. Why do I say that? Because first of all,
billion.
Fox sold for billion. Yes, thank you. Because Fox sold for 70 billion a couple of years back, and Fox ain't got nothing.
Yeah, but we also said that the Fox deal was way higher than it was.
It was a little overpriced, but guess what? This sale that we're looking at right now is already less than what AT&T paid for Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has been under, they have been, their stock has been downgraded so many times because of BS that's part of the problem. Is they're just starting to get where their stock should be. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to remember there's a huge amount of cable channels involved here. There's a huge amount of IP involved here. Let's not even get started on the music and the video game aspect of this, right? Warner Brothers is a much, much, much bigger company, more on the same level as Disney than a lot of the other studios. Now, they're not exactly the same. They're no longer involved in the parks. I don't think they have any involvement in, Six Flags or whatever anymore. I don't know about that. But what's going on here is that Zaslav is calling Ellison out for his BS. Ellison came to the table, throwing his dingling around, saying, I'm going to buy Warner Brothers, even though I just bought a vehicle and I haven't driven it yet. I'm going to buy another one. And Daddy's like, are you so sure about that? Because you got this other vehicle sitting right here that you haven't even driven yet. What do you think you need another car for? I'm going to quote Will Smith's dad. You only got one butt, son. What do you need so many cars for?
Yeah.
I'm going to sit here and go, so he goes, all right, well, whatever, go ahead, give it a shot. So he makes his little offer, which sets off this entire thing, right? Let's be real. That super chat you brought up there, or the member chat, is 100% correct. Warner Brothers doesn't have to sell anything. At no point was it even really up for sale. Ellison started this whole thing. He put in a bid, which made everybody else start throwing in bids. And as we've been finding out in the background, this has been going on for a while now. And what it sounded like is Ellison was making promises that he couldn't keep. And not only that, it sounds like he was borderline bribing David Zaslav, right? Which could be a big, huge problem here. Let's not even forget that He's bringing in foreign money into this and other things like that. The Jared Kushner situation. Trump has had to back away from this whole thing now because it was funny. A week ago, he was talking about how it was basically a shoo-in for Paramount. Now he's basically like, I barely know the Ellisons. I don't know anything about them.
It's because they did a news article on him that he didn't like, and
exactly.
He's looking for leverage there. Yeah.
But anyway, so after I think some of this shady dealing is why Zaslav kind of just ghosted Ellison. And at the same time, we got to remember here, Ellison is making a bid for the entire company head to toe, right? He wants everything. He doesn't just want one part of it. Netflix is not going after the cable networks. Let's make this clear. Because the offer that Ellison is making for the cable networks is nothing. It is nothing compared to what they are worth. So this is what's going down is basically Warner Brothers is going to split up. They got to Discovery is going to keep all the cable channels except for HBO. And then HBO and Warner Brothers are going to go over to Netflix. That's why the deal is better for the shareholders, because the offer that Ellison is giving them is nothing in comparison. So he's pretending and acting like it's this big deal, and he's trying to goose up all the members of the stockholders when it's not really remotely close to what Netflix is offering at the end of the day. Because Discovery is going to split off all those networks and take off with those, right? So now Discovery is going to have TNT, TBS, CNN, all those underneath their umbrella. The only thing they're not going to have is HBO. Okay, so there's that aspect of it. Now, as far as Netflix getting this, I agree with you guys. This is going to be a big hurdle for Netflix to get over with the FTC. But a lot of people are thinking of Netflix the wrong way. Here's the problem with Netflix. Netflix is not a studio. I know a lot of people want to think about them that way, but they don't produce anything. If you go and look at all their shows, they're produced by other production companies. They're basically a distribution outlet. They're a tech company. So this is really no different than AT&T when they bought Warner Brothers. So I think that's the argument that Netflix is going to make on this. And I agree with you guys. This is a bad deal for the industry. After their deals dry up, unless there's a good reason for Netflix to stay in the theater business, there isn't one. And all Netflix really wants here is the IPs at the end of the day. Or, and this is a big if, the possibility is they're being honest about keeping Warner Brothers running. And the reason why I think there might be a possibility of that is because Netflix technically doesn't have a studio. They don't actually produce anything there. Right? Like they give money to production companies to make things like Stranger Things and stuff like that. And their names are a part of these things, but they're produced outside of Netflix. Netflix doesn't physically make anything. Right? So that's where I think this is going to come down to. The regulators are going to have a hard time coming up with a good reason why this shouldn't go through. The only thing I think they're going to put a stop on, and because Script Doctor and I had a long conversation about this, is I think they might step in and say you can't have HBO Max and Netflix. So I think they might make them split off HBO on its own. That's the only thing I can see happening where they're going to force them to their hand in any way. Because otherwise, I don't know if the FTC can stop this from happening. Because it's almost like a done deal at this point. And that's why I think that as long as the regulations go through, it is what it is. And they have to adhere to all the contracts from all the years until they're all done. So that's why they said we're going to be putting movies in theaters till 2029.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the contracts are there. The other thing I've heard, Tom, is that really what this battle is about, which is something we've never maybe seen before, is as we get ready to go into an era of generative AI that Disney's already, preparing for, and all the other companies have to do that as well. There's a more premium value now on brands and characters than ever before, and that might be where the value is, that might be where the money is to have Superman, Batman, Looney Tunes, Harry Potter, etc. I mean, we can keep going and going, right? To have all of those characters, maybe that's where the value is in the future. Maybe it's worth it to have those properties under your belt. Maybe that's where the $100 billion is coming from.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, some of these properties are going to be going up to public domain too. We got to keep that in mind. But what is Netflix buying here besides a studio? They're buying a catalog, right? Like that's the other thing, is they don't have to rent this catalog out anymore. And Warner Brothers has one of the biggest catalogs out there, because not only do they have Warner titles, they have New Line. They also have a buttload of MGM titles pre-1986, I think it is. So yeah, they have a lot of stuff that has been gathered
I'll
up.
bring up something that I know that Tom will relate to here. Warner Brothers pretty much decided the last two format wars.
Pretty much. I know a lot of people like to say porn did, but no, Warner Brothers did.
Once the movies that everyone is willing to admit that they buy go with Blu-ray, then that decides, okay, well, this is the one we're doing. Which, of course, when 4K is just an extension of Blu-ray, and before that DVD, what this is, Warner Brothers is a majority of the content out there that is released theatrically, and therefore is a majority of the content that is released on physical media, because Disney has not done a great job of releasing their stuff on physical for the better part of a decade now.
Right.
So,
which is
so this is, if all of that goes to Netflix, I think that's the death of physical media. It becomes something else entirely that becomes a niche collector's item and maybe a bootleg only item at that point.
See, that's where you're right, and I think that the company's worth a little bit more than people are giving it credit for. And you're right. If Netflix decides that they're not going to support physical media, about 40% of the industry is just going to fall, right? Because you're not wrong. Like, Warner Brothers supports a lot of the industry. They actually deal with a lot of the other companies' home video releases, and Warner Brothers has always been one of the biggest home video supporters. And they were separate from everybody else since back when I was in the video store days. Like, you had to go directly to Warner Brothers to get their stuff. But the beauty of it is it was cheaper, right? So they've always been more consumer friendly or video store friendly, or however you want to put it. But yeah, this is a bigger blow to me than the theater aspect. Because guess what? There's a good chance Netflix is going to go, hey, there's money to be made here in the theater. And I think that's part of the reason that got them into this whole deal to begin with, is because they saw some of the money that was being made with, the Demon Hunters and the other few things they were putting out in theaters. That they're like, well, maybe we do need a company that we can distribute. Because that's basically why Amazon bought MGM. They wanted a label that they could put out there this is a movie studio. We're a movie studio now.
Right. They don't want to be known as Walmart Movies. They want to be known as MGM. And they're willing to say Amazon MGM, but they want a name that doesn't make people roll their eyes.
Exactly. And that's why Netflix wants Warner Brothers.
Well, folks, we're to find out, do shareholders want Netflix? Or do they want Paramount? It's a hostile takeover effort. But suddenly, it's starting to look a little bit more like Netflix might be the winner in all of this. We'll let you know what's going on as the days unfold. Answers on the way. Story. Tom got caught by the interstitial. Tom, throw us your final closing.
No, I was just going to say, I was going to add one last thing, and that's basically the temperature in the industry right now. Because at first they were very resistant to this. But I think as more industry people are looking into it, I think they're realizing that they hate to admit it, but Netflix might be the better deal. And the reason I say that is because there's less redundancy. And that's why a lot of the people are kind of starting to hope that that's what happens, because chances are they'll get to keep their jobs.
Do you think Netflix is running a hearts and minds campaign right now where they're trying to convince everybody, no, this is the thing that would stop it from happening, so let's campaign our hardest to say, well, we don't have all of this stuff, we're not going to destroy all of this stuff?
Partially. And I mean, I'm not saying Netflix ain't lying through their teeth either, right? We all know they probably are, because they've done nothing but lie through their teeth since day one. But I think at first, because the industry's first gut reaction is, oh, Paramount. Then I think a lot of people realize that I'm going to lose my job if Paramount buys Warner Brothers, because that means Paramount's just going to take over, and whoever has that job over there is going to have my job. Netflix, like I said, they don't have a studio. So as they keep telling people, we're going to keep running Warner Brothers as a studio. So what if they're actually being honest about it, they're buying more than just a studio. They're also buying David Zaslav, Mike DeLuca, and Pam Abdi, which if you don't remember right now, or for those who may not realize it, they're the biggest winning combo in Hollywood right now, because they've had the most hits in the last 2 years. Compared to everybody else, like we just talked about with Disney, where they're struggling to even keep up right now, but they're just lucky that Zootopia 2 did as well as it did.
Now, Tom, you've come in here and really lit a fire with us, and I just want to say, I'd love it if you could bring that energy. I don't know if you've heard of this Christmas movie we're going to be watching. It's a Yuletide classic, and if you would be interested, we'd love to have you come watch a movie with us sometime real soon. Lauren is excited, and you shut up, Lauren.
Gooses.
I'm going to do you a solid. You don't want this.
I heard you guys talking about some weird crap earlier. That's all I know.
I bet Tom has already seen it, but
what is it?
It's something. It's not Birdemic. It's Santa Claus
and the ice cream bunny
versus the ice cream.
And the ice cream bunny. That's what it was.
Yeah. This has waited for way too long already. Stormweaver for $50 Canadian. By the way, how do we get Lorne Connor as president of Lucasfilm?
Lay out what do you need, Lorne? What's it going to take?
I don't think you want me as president of Lucasfilm. I'm not a business guy. I'm not one of those guys. Where you would want me is if they still had something like a story group, and I'm not sure that they would retain that if they ever get rid of the leadership anyway. So maybe put me in charge of licensing. That might be a good thing.
I'm seeing the goal only has 6 on it. Why does the goal only have 6 on it right now?
At least that's what I hear.
Wait, what?
Let's go!
Jabba, right?
Oh no!
It's a Sarlacc!
Star Wars Outlaws pre-order available now.
What the heck was that?
Guys, this.
Hey, Jonas, I forget what you were asking about. We'll just keep on moving. Hey, Stormweaver, thank you so much. And yes, I think Lorne has been a bit too humble. He could at least give us something better than Star Wars Outlaws as the head of Lucasfilm.
I believe that's true.
Jonas, what were you asking about earlier? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's
Why
all
does
good.
the goal only have 6 in it? I thought we were farther along.
Oh, it's funny. That's funny. Oh, you see, Jonas, Lorne had this wonderful idea. Not me. I would never come up with this kind of thing. But Lorne, in his, I don't know what you want to call it, not masochistic. What do you call it when it's masochism for others?
Sadomasochism.
Deep-seated hatred?
Yeah.
Lorne has decided that if they hit another 50, that you get to watch Santa Claus and the ice cream bunny with us.
I believe the term you're looking for is sadomasochist.
Yeah.
Lorne, that's what you are. Play that in Scrabble.
I'll make a deal with y'all. If we hit the 100 super chat goal on the @JonasJCampbell channel on YouTube by the end of the day, then I will watch this movie.
No.
5 times.
5 times? No. That seems to insinuate that you're going to enjoy it somehow. That's not cool.
No, that insinuates that channel's not monetized. Ninja Pad for $5. Lord of the Rings, Gollum should be Wilton.
That actually makes more sense. Yep.
Okay, we'll go with that. I'll talk to Steve.
But he could, as long as Lorne plays Deagle. So, views, that was pretty good. Views with Hughes, Culture and News for $5. Might see Avatar this weekend, but it'll be too late to do a review on it.
Oh man,
saw it.
Did he
do a review of that?
He said it's too long.
Tom, are you gonna go see it? Well, it's like 3 hours and 15 minutes.
I still ain't watched the second one. If you ask me anything about the first one, I'd be like, blue people.
Yeah,
that's right. Dances with Smurfs.
Second one's better than the first one. I'll say that.
Is it?
It is, but that's an interesting metric. Alan Jin for $5.
Is it better than Garbage Pail Kids? That's the question.
I haven't watched that in a while. Could we make that the goal? Because I was
going to say there's a good bad movie.
No. Listen, that is. In fact, people should watch Garbage Pail Kids. Every person who works in the film industry should watch it to know what not to do. But from that standpoint, it's very enjoyable to watch. But I'll say this. I am not going to reveal what we will be watching with Packing Protons come January when we get our revenge against him. And it's coming.
Okay. All right. Alan Jid for $5. Already gave to needy people, now for chaos.
Well,
you can call
chaos
me chaos.
achieved.
Yep. Packing Protons for $5. You watch Riff Tracks. You learn all about bad movies and their history.
I'm glad to know there's a repository for you to go to find what you're going to torture us with. I'm so happy that exists for you. It's just a pleasure to find it out.
It's a wonderful thing to watch good movies and bad movies. It's something that sometimes movies are so bad that they're good. Sometimes watching something on screen, somebody trying so hard to be cool and making something that is so cringeworthy. And unfortunately,
which is why I love Morbius.
Yeah, this is why the MCU after when you get into phase 4 and 5 is so bad. It's because they're not trying to be cool; they're trying to be better than you, and that's not fun to watch. It's just insufferable. So, Packing Protons for $5. Tom should be part of Ice Cream Bunny.
Like he's gonna eat me, so I'll be a part of him forever.
Forever and ever.
Oh wow, that's like it. Woofle, member for 9. Lauren, Ron, Pro, and Jonas, plus everyone. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Is the Ice Cream Bunny the same guy that's doing the halftime show?
No, that's
Bad Bunny.
That's Fudgy the Whale. Yeah,
Fudgy the Whale.
They were the same.
Yeah, that's the Carvel ice cream cake. Packing Protons for $5. Midnight's Edge seems to think it's Netflix going to win. I don't know what does this acronym stand for or initialism stand for?
If I remember correctly.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he may have sent this before I even got in here.
Yeah,
he did.
I think so.
Yeah, and again, I don't hope this to be true. I just looking at it from the broad perspective of things that are going on, and the more and more we learn about what Ellison has pulled,
yeah,
I think it's going to happen.
I think it's one of those things that's easily misunderstood to say someone's going to win versus hoping someone's going to win. Those are two different things. Like when Macaulay Culkin says that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, that people can interpret that as Macaulay Culkin, star of Home Alone, hating Die Hard, which I don't think is the case. Chef Eddie for $5. Why don't we get them to watch Birdemic 2?
Just move on. Hey, Jonas, we don't have to read this one. It's all good.
Two of those.
That's where you draw the line.
This is a different one. This is Bridemic.
The first Birdemic was enough. They didn't learn their lesson the first time.
They've done 3 of them.
Wow.
Thanks, Lauren.
He thought it was safe to go back outside. Birdemic 4.
Bridemic. It might be a spinoff. It's worse
We've
than
made it for $10.
Packing Protons for $5. And there is a Birdemic 3.
Oh, man.
The Beaconing.
Chef Eddie for $5. I think they should watch both versions of the Ice Cream Bunny movie and then give a review of which one is better.
How is there 2 versions?
Is it a sequel, or is that they're literally 2 different movies?
I think there's 2 different. Now, if I'm understanding this correctly, there's 2 different kinds. There's the giant and the Thumbelina.
Okay. Packing Protons for $5. Excellent idea, Chef Eddie. That'll be the second time. I see. So you guys have to find 2 different versions of this movie now. It's getting more complicated.
Hang on. Are they literally super chatting conspiracy against us? Why are you super chatting the conspiracy? Talk in some sort of private chat about how you're going to torture us, not out in the open. You
can PayPal me about that if you
This is brazen. It's reached that level. By the way, to our mods out there, we've sent you a message over on the DMs for a link we need to get out there in the chat. So make sure that you go check that out, and let's start getting that link out there, please. Thank you.
All right. So let's see what else we got. O2RR for $5. With Christmas coming up, will there be any streams next week? Also, will any of our panelists be able to stream a countdown to 2026 on New Year's Eve? I have been told that there will be people at my house, and I will be expected to be social, so I won't be there.
If my channel wasn't shut down, I'm pathetic enough that I might have been home.
So
my
next
channel's
week,
technically not shut down. I should be clear about that. It's just demonetized. Sorry.
next week, the Pro Channel will have the Pro Show on its normal times up until Thursday. And on Christmas Day, the Pro Show will not play. It will go to Friday instead, and we'll continue on the Friday after Christmas. No live streams on Christmas Day from either that Park Place or the Pro Show, but everything else remains the same. You'll see us here next week because we just never know how to stop, because Hollyweird won't stop, and neither will we. Now, Tom, you were talking about Midnight's Edge After Dark and what you've been going through with YouTube. Ron has posted the link out there for folks who might be interested in throwing an assist, and by golly, it's needed, and it's a wonderful Christmas gift. Folks, if you want to, get on over to that link and help out Midnight's Edge After Dark. Tom, of course, running that channel. And, by the way, Midnight's Edge was one of the first friends that reached out and came to our aid when a similar thing occurred years ago. And now it's time to throw that back to them. Tom is going to be, I'm sure, trying to get YouTube to help him out. And we're wishing him well with that. But in the interim, get over there and give an assist to Midnight's Edge After Dark. They need it. They love you. They're your friends. And we want to continue doing this for decades to come with Tom and Andre and all the rest.
I appreciate it. Real quickly, for those who may not know what Pro's talking about, a week ago, it came down that my channel was demonetized And according to the only reason I got was it was related to a channel that had been demonetized for using reused content.
From a long time ago, right, Tom?
Yeah.
Very
long
time ago.
From the best I can come up with is it was a channel that I had from years ago. Midnight's Edge After Dark's been active for 8 years. This other channel's been pretty much inactive for that 8 years. I mean, I may have posted a handful of things over there, but majority of what's there is my stuff, right? Like stuff I made. Like it's not even reused content or in any way, or I'd like them to define it, because otherwise it would be no different than anything that would fall under copyright claim, right? Like I don't understand this, but so they're deciding to punish Midnight's Edge After Dark because of it. And we've been trying to get their attention. You guys out there have been great. Signal boosting it. These guys on the panel have been doing their part. Everybody's been, chipping in, trying to get their attention. And we finally got their attention the other day, and it looks like it was just an automated response, most likely. So chances are I'm going to have to go through the whole appeal process, which from what I can tell, if they even let me come back, it's probably going to take 3 to 6 months. That's the average, it looks like. So yeah, so it's going to be a long haul, but I appreciate it. You guys have been amazing so far. You guys on the panel have done tons and tons to help me out. There's tons of guys in the chat I see, and ladies, of course. I don't mean it. Guys in general. I mean, people. A lot of you guys in the chat have been helping out as well. So all you can really do is signal boost it. And if you can afford to help me out financially, that's great. I don't expect it, or I'm not trying to ask for it, but I've been humbled so far by the response. Because this is just the worst time for them to pull this on somebody, and with very little reason given, right? So hopefully this process doesn't take forever, but I'm hoping for the best, but planning for the worst.
And remember, folks, as you get ready to throw that assist to Tom, as you get ready to help him continue going on, and we're looking forward to brighter days and better days for Tom, do it for the turtles. This man, no other person on the planet Earth, has done more for the love of turtles than Tom Connors. I can say that exactly. Say it with confidence, folks. Get out there. And by the way, if you want to know how you can help with the messaging over on X, just say, hey, Team YouTube, take a look at this. Do it politely, do it kindly, but bring attention to the matter. And who knows, we might get a human on it, and maybe just a matter of time before Tom is back up and running again, full blast.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Now back to the program.
Now back to the Packing Protons show, starring Packing Protons. For $5, I, and 10, Hope, and then for 15, Lorne, 20, enjoys, 25, this. Then 25, after donating 800s this year, I should get a year of the Medmutt style floral clip.
Oh, you want that, huh? You want a little Medmutt? You're going to get way more than packing, more than that packing. You're going to be on the panel next year. You're on the panel next year, and we're going to watch a movie of my choice together.
I think you can write you guys off as dependents now.
This is one big cultural appropriation, don't you think?
What do you mean? We're just celebrating the year of Medmutt.
You can go
want us?
Yeah.
Go ahead, want us.
The first Dragon Queen for $2. I learned this is a musical. I hate life at the moment.
I think you were supposed to sing that.
No, we're not doing that. Not doing that.
It's Tom again.
Yeah, I watched Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail with the boys the other day, and one of my sons didn't quite get it, and then my other son was glued to the screen and had the stupidest grin on his face the entire time. He got it.
Can't wait till they're old enough for Life of Brian.
Aldo Casabona, member for 7. Why do they have to sell? Can't they just keep it? We already talked about this one, Aldo.
Yeah.
It was made to sell at this point.
Technically, Zaslav was always planning on flipping the house. Yes.
Yeah. It's funny to watch all the people that were like, look at the poor job Zaslav is doing all these years. This is the end game for him. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle for 5. Hey, maybe you guys could do a double feature with Night of the Lepus.
I know that one.
I'm so glad they have more movies that they're coming up with. This is such a pleasure, I tell you.
That's like a 1970s movie about
it's even
rabbits.
Better. Sounds even better.
Oh my!
Isn't like Leonard Nimoy in that?
how
Chad,
much I
help me out
enjoyed
here.
bad 1970s
Somebody's in it.
movies.
If it's not Leonard Nimoy, maybe it's McCoy. Somebody's from Star Trek, I swear, is in that movie.
Snarky D for 5. Packing Protons, you were top brass, my friend. Did it to VR, and you've done it again. Lauren, your laugh just awesome as pro glitches to yield to it.
Let me say it again for those of you out there who don't know, okay? Let me one more time. Steve, Will Twan Daddy, good to you, mister. I put hair in funky places.
I've already seen fan art that's been developed for this. This is crazy. I do want to hear the song that's going to come from this. I'm torn between a James Brown version.
Oh, that's where I'm going.
Or the band that does Jonas is Back. I'd kind of like to see what their take on it would be too. So
I'm doing. This is going to be like a Tupac, very serious with chicken nuggies dancing in the car.
They're Seventh-day Adventists, and they disagree with this kind of thing. So
I'll tell you this too. I was going to do like this wonderful Christmas special next week. Nope, we're doing this now. That's what's coming out before Christmas.
Bucky Cat.
Good Lord, chicken nuggets.
Bucky Cat for 10. In addition to the WB Netflix drama, the WGA is $122 million in debt due to losing money in healthcare. They want the studios to make that up. Will we see another strike in 26? If we see another strike in 26, maybe they'll get this one right. Yikes.
Well, all I'm going to say on this one is we have lots of friends and we love them dearly. We said very clearly, though, that the Hollywood unions lost horrifically in the last strikes, and we maintain that. And they still have a lot of the same leadership. They're about to go into the existential save our careers mode strike. And it's going to be like nothing you've ever seen before. And I think it's too late. I think this whole thing's going to fall down like a house of cards. And I think that if you want chaos and drama, it's coming for the entertainment industry over the next 2 to 3 years.
Well, it's basically going to wind up the same place the music industry is.
Yikes.
So if they don't pay attention to that, then that's where they're going to wind up.
I'm not sure they can stop it now.
Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle for 5. Question: if Netflix wants the content but has to spin off HBO, what will HBO have to show? They'll own HBO, the network, at this point.
Yeah.
Which there's the difference between the channel and the programming. Like Fox, the channel was not sold to Disney, but Fox, the studio, was sold to Disney. So they'll have both as when it comes to HBO and Cinemax. Those are going with the studio's side. So.
And HBO has kind of always been run as its kind of own separate entity, because trying to remember when Warner bought it. I think it was when they bought up the whole thing to get what become Warner Cable, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody in the chat wants to remind me. But they've kind of always ran it as its own entity in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So even though, HBO would be paying Warner Brothers for their movies, so it's like basically them paying themselves, it was still kind of this thing. And there was money there to be made because there was subscriptions, right? Like, the amount of money that people were paying for HBO and the amount of people that had it in comparison to something like Netflix now is insane. The difference. Like, I mean, shows like Game of Thrones and all that stuff were a huge deal because you had a lot of people watching those shows. Now, when Netflix gets a big hit like Stranger Things, like, I don't know if you saw the comment or not that I made, but I'm like, I remember when every night of the week, the biggest show would get that many numbers, right? When the biggest show of the night, whatever it was, would generally bring in 20 million viewers.
Yep.
And they're making a big deal out of Netflix getting that many viewers in 2-3 days or 4 days or whatever it was for the thing of Stranger Things. It's like, that's pathetic.
It's kind of like the late night when we cover those ratings. A lot of people understand this. We'll cover. They're excited because Kimmel broke 2 million, and we'll go back 20 years ago and Letterman and Leno are breaking 12 million. It's like,
don't even go look at Johnny Carson while you're at
oh
it.
no, those are 20 million every night. It's crazy, absolutely crazy, with a much smaller population.
And yes, you could make the argument that it was a much more concentrated audience because you only had X amount of networks and all that kind of business. But like I reminded folks, it's like we could have went out inside and played. We didn't have to watch TV, right? Like it wasn't like somebody sat right there with a gun to our head and said, "You're going to sit here and watch He-Man whether you like it or not." You know what I mean? Like, we chose to watch those things. We had other choices. We could go outside. We could do other things. But we sat there and chose to, like, because Dukes of Hazzard, somebody's like, "Oh, you guys didn't really like that show." It's like, yes, we did. Are you kidding me? Like, we chose to watch that show. Like, we loved that show. I have all the merchandise. Like, yeah, it's not just because there was nothing else to watch. It was because it was actually made well enough that a lot of people could watch it and still be entertained. That's the difference, I think.
Now, Jonas, I'm going to fly through some super chats real quick. We're going to get to 2 stories, folks. But Jonas, it's looking like you're going to be safe. It looks like we're only 10 out of 50 on the next goal. Doesn't seem like you're going to have to watch Santa Claus and the Ice Cream Buddy.
I still don't have the monetization on the channel.
Yeah, looks like you'll be okay. We'll see. I don't know how much grace you're going to receive from this crowd. We'll see. Blind Blind for 2. Tom, if they ask you to watch a movie, I don't.
I've learned that now.
No, we don't. Package Protons for 5. Should the FTC deny Netflix simply because Hollywood as an entire industry would die? No.
They could, but...
No, the theaters maybe, but the entire industry, I don't think... That's a much harder argument to make that Disney's going to die because of this. I think that's a very difficult argument.
I mean, Netflix should just sit there and make the buggy versus the car argument, too.
Yeah.
Is that you're just getting in the way of progress at that point.
Progress, always progress. Package Protons for 5. Paramount builds new studio in Hudson County, New Jersey. There you go.
They have a bunch of studios they're not even using.
Cohen Film for $9.99 did the Disney Studio tour last month, and the Lucasfilm office looked a little quiet. Who'd have thought? A little bit like Dagobah over there these days. Also, a couple of years ago, any new sound stages under construction, even in England, were already leased out. It's below 50% now in California, which is amazing. Less than 50%. It was never below 90% pre-pandemic. The soundstage usage in California below 50. They've all gone elsewhere. It's crazy. Thank you, Cohen Film. I appreciate you. Going to Packy Protons for 5. Tom and Mexican Iron Man would get Project Alf. I would
Project
love.
Alf.
I enjoyed Project Alf.
The problem with Project Alf is the best parts in the first 20 minutes.
You're not wrong.
You're
not wrong. The whole Elf being tested bit.
Oh,
at Begley
it's the best part.
Is the best part. Yes.
Calling Film for 5. Tom, you inspired me to purchase a Blu-ray player.
Good for you, man.
That's right. Get the physical. And Packing Protons for 5. Darn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a rabbit pin cleaner.
Yes,
that's right.
I was wrong. It was McCoy, DeForest Kelly, who's in Land of the Lepus. That's right.
And ladies and gentlemen, remember, please, just like was an important part of the culture, let's get physical. Let's get physical. Physical media, that is. All right, folks, it's time to hit the next story, and we're going to hit 2 of those stories. We'll come back to the Super Chats after that. Never leave one behind, but we've got a heck of a media fallout, and we're to cover it from 2 sides. Get ready, get set. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. They're crushing it over at Fox News in a way that we did not know was even possible. TV Insider has this by Martin Holmes. Fox News scores record ratings. See how CNN and MS Now compare. Oh, is that MSNBC? Yes. Oh, you know what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you these record-breaking stats from Fox News, and I'm not here to be a trumpeter for Fox News. I'm just, listen, they've done something unimaginable. I'll explain. Fox News is ending the year on a high note, scoring its best ratings ever in a non-election year, while giving primetime broadcast networks a run for their money. That's right, a little cable channel is taking on the broadcasters. According to Nielsen Media Research, released on Monday, December 15th, Fox News averaged 2.72 million primetime viewers and 287,000 viewers in the key adults demo in 2025. Here's where this is just nuts, okay? And you got to know this. Otherwise, you don't understand what's going on culturally. Something is happening here, something that's not being reported upon. This was up 14% in total viewers and 18% in the demo, that's young people, compared to 2024. Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a tick, Ron. Ron, last year should have been unbeatable for Fox News viewership. Trump had just come back into the office. There were stories every day about what was he going to do. They were covering him and Biden meeting at the White House. Can't believe it. Biden was trying to jail him forever. This was, what is going to happen now with Trump and with the transition of power? Oh my gosh, all the cases have to be dropped. Kamala, will she be there at the inauguration? Ron, somehow Fox News improved this December versus last December. That should be impossible. Should be impossible. Ron, what is going on here? Is there something we're missing in the culture where somehow, and we'll get to CNN and MSNBC in just a minute. Ron, what's going on that we aren't reporting every single day about Fox News? What's happening here?
They're covering Candace and Erica?
No, they're actually not very much.
Wow. Honestly, I haven't been keeping up with what is going on in the Fox News channel, other than I know that Gutfeld just kills it every single night that he's on. And
that's right.
Blows
You're
everybody
right.
else away in the ratings.
Ron, no, you're onto it. You beat me to it. Ron, Fox News is up in the ratings. This is unbelievable. Fox News is up in the ratings compared to a year that they should not be able to beat because they've become the kings of late night. This is crazy that Gutfeld is defeating Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert night after night after night. The mainstream, going extinct dinosaur media refuses to report it. And Fox News is breaking records again versus an election year when all their viewers were just sitting in the midst of euphoria. Lauren, this is amazing to me that the networks have forfeited essentially late night and handed it over to a cable news network, and they're winning on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand the motivations of the other networks. I think that a lot of it is that they are ideologically captured and they're hoping that they can just wait out the current administration. But I don't think that they can keep things at this level forever. I think Barry Weiss coming into CBS will hopefully lead to a bit of moderation, and maybe some of the other studios will follow suit. It'll be interesting to see what their ratings do once some of those changes start taking place. I'm curious to see what happens there.
Absolutely. Let's go back now and take a look at MSNBC and CNN because it's not the same thing at all. Listen to this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is crazy. In comparison, this is our paragraph right here. In comparison, MS Now, formerly MSNBC, we don't have to read the numbers. Just take a look at this. They're down 25% versus last year, which is kind of what you would expect, right? Gentlemen, MSNBC, after the rebrand, I told you this was horrifically bad, right? This rebrand that they spent millions and millions and millions of dollars on. They can't survive. They're down almost 40%. They're down 39% in the demo. They've lost almost half their audience in 1 year, even after a rebrand. And these are the people who buy the stuff that are on the ads. That can't be. And CNN is down 15% and 29% in the demo. This should not be. This should be impossible. And the reason it should be impossible is because what do we know happens when a network that has a particular political slant is out of the political power? We've seen this before. We know what happens. The viewers tune in because they believe they're in a fight for their political life. They want to know, how are we going to take down the orange Godzilla? And yet nobody's there. Nobody's there anymore. Live coverage from the White House right here on the Pro Channel, according to MSNBC and CNN. Guys, they have tanked. Their audiences don't trust them anymore. And you can say that there's this new movement that's strong and vicious, and the midterms are going to be lost by the orange man and all that. Not going to weigh in there. I'm just going to tell you that if that's true, it's not coming from the normal viewership of CNN and MSNBC. It's something completely different. Jonas, your thoughts on this? Your thoughts on watching Fox News actually improve a year later, as we're told enthusiasm is declining toward the base for President Trump?
You know, it's an interesting thing. I'm following the statistics from Rasmussen, and Trump's approval is in the negative numbers right now, which that's low. It's not good. It's different than it was the first time around. The media effect on him is not the same. It actually seems to be a lot of people that were a lot of people that were excited about certain aspects of his campaign getting frustrated that he's not following through on some of it. Like Doge, the search terms for Doge were at their highest. The trending on Google trends for Doge was at its highest when Trump was at his highest approval numbers. There's a correlation.
Is that why we saw the pivot last night with the Oval Office address, sort of, Jonas, you think?
If he's got any sense, yes. The other thing is Trump's approval numbers are very low, but the dissolution of Venezuelan teeny tiny boats that may be carrying snow from the South Pole to the North America. If I'm being
wait a minute here, snow that's not cold, is that right?
Yes, yeah, it's cocaine. Anyways. Those boats.
Did you seriously throw out the word in Spanish, which is just an accent switch? And Jonah,
Yeah.
step up your game. Go ahead.
Maybe that'll throw off the the overlords there for a second. But anyways, those boats expanding at a rapid rate, flammably, is more popular than anything in the United States as far as polling goes. That is the highest approval for a policy, even while the man whose administration it is under is in negative approval numbers. So there's a case being made out there that there are people in the United States that are actually disappointed that Trump is not as much of a dictator as they voted for.
Yeah, I think there's a definitive red arrow right now that says something is going on amongst CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. And I don't know if it's just that we're maybe the young people who are sort of in this Mamdani crowd now, the AOC crowd, maybe they're not tuning in to these networks. Maybe that era is over. But something is happening where Fox News remains extremely relevant, and yet the rest is falling apart. So, Tom, guys, any other thoughts on this one before we move on to the next one? What are your thoughts on Fox News actually increasing, actually breaking their own record from last year? Seems like it should be impossible.
I don't really have much to add other than I don't really watch it, but from what I've gathered, and I could be wrong, they seem to be a little bit more middle ground now, it sounds like, because they've even ticked Trump off a few times.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's part of it, is that they're one of the few news sources out there that's pushing themselves more to the center, which a lot of these news organizations should be. That's the whole point initially of news, is that it's supposed to be bipartisan. But, these news channels are under a totally different regulation than the networks, but that doesn't seem to bother the networks either. So, when it comes to the news departments, I've had a hard time keeping up with everything that's going on, but I do know that MSNBC dropped the MS part of it or something like that, wasn't it recently?
Yeah, they became MS Now. Which,
the NBC part they dropped. Yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, right. So they distanced themselves from the Microsoft, and now they're distancing themselves from the NBC.
I am curious to see if there's going to be any impact of Bongino leaving the FBI. The rumor is that he wants to go back to his podcast, but it wouldn't surprise me if they brought him on as a guest commentator or contributor, and it'd be interesting to see what happens there.
Oh, that's a great point. It's something that Gutfeld actually alluded to on, I believe, the 5 yesterday, which just happened to be on the TV as I was getting ready for the Oval Office address and how we were going to handle that with the Pro Show. But yeah, Gutfeld was actually laughing about, well, maybe Bongino's coming over here. And so that was fun. All right, folks, we're going to pay attention to this because something is happening on cable news. I don't know that CNN and MSNBC, as they're currently constituted, are going to last much longer. We've called this. We've said this. It really is untenable. There's not a financial reason for them to exist the way they do. So format changes, I think, are coming. But Fox News, at a time when you would think there's no way they could beat last year, it's happening. It's what's going on. And maybe Fox News is nowhere close to done. Maybe we might even say Fox News is saving cable TV. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been one of the biggest takedowns we have ever seen on TV. Really and truly. We're going to show it to you. This is one of those live exclusives. We're not going to put this out on any of the, there won't be a highlight clip of this. This is why you're here, to hear this kind of stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, Candace Owens went to Piers Morgan, and it did not go well for Candace. Now, I know that some of you out there are Candace fans or Megyn Kelly fans, or you're on Team Erica and all this kind of stuff. Listen, I'm not here to change your mind. Maybe she's uncovered the conspiracy for the ages. Maybe so. But I'm just going to tell you, from a completely unbiased and objective standpoint, what happened is the train wreck of all train wrecks on Piers Morgan. We're going to play this for you. This is unbelievably bad, and it is so bad that the entire conservative commentary class is going to take lessons on this. It's time to go to class to see, how do I not get taken to task this way? Folks, here are clips from the show. You all know Candace has had some very interesting takes on what's happened with TPUSA, with Erica Kirk. Here's what happened with Piers Morgan yesterday.
Obviously, for this to have been pulled off, there had to have been multiple people involved. There had to have been people at Turning Point that were complicit in having this happen. I didn't say that they murdered Charlie.
You said that people at Turning Point were complicit in his murder.
No, my exact sentence that I said was that there were people at Turning Point who are engaged in a cover-up.
No, you didn't.
I believe that thoroughly.
Candice, you didn't say that. You said literally.
I did say that on my entire show.
You said there were people at Turning Point complicit in his murder.
Okay.
That's what you said.
Obviously, for this to have been pulled off, there had to have been multiple people involved. There had to have been people at Turning Point that were complicit in having this happen.
You said complicit in the murder. Because I said who at Turning Point was involved in his murder. And
let
you
me
said,
clarify for you. Okay, you can keep saying what I said, or you can listen to what I am saying.
Okay.
When I was using the analogy of JFK and we were connecting it, I was basically pushing back on you because you were suggesting that, all of these people being involved would be crazy. So I was applying the analogy of what happened with JFK. Well, you actually, if you go back and listen.
I don't know. JFK's assassin.
I mean, this is, it's very seldom you see this. And I'm not here to tell you that Piers Morgan is the greatest interviewer ever. He has been owned himself. The fact that he's able to do this, that Piers Morgan, who's not the best at these sort of things and has been tied up before in logic, the idea that Piers Morgan can do this to her might indicate why Candace is going to stay on her own show for a long time to come. Here's a little bit more of it.
And we recently had a lot of the files released, which did not conclusively prove any of these things, right? Now, again, I don't know what happened to JFK.
No,
make it clear.
Piers, I really think you're not holding on to your thoughts here
Candace,
correctly.
let me spell out my thought very.
Had to have been people at Turning Point that were complicit in having this happen. My entire
You said there were people at Turning Point complicit in his murder.
Okay.
That's what you said.
I really think you're not holding on to your thoughts
Candace,
here correctly.
And I know, folks, I know that it's clips, but my gosh, you talk about. Okay, we're going to talk about this in just a minute, too, because Megyn Kelly could not have worse timing on all of this. We'll talk about it in just a second. But panel, let me go to Ron on this. Ron, Candace Owens, you can believe what she says. You cannot believe what she says. But Ron, Candace Owens did not have a good time with Piers Morgan.
No, definitely not. The thing, it's interesting. I used to be a big fan of Candace because her evolution, I think is the right word. Her evolution in this space has been very, very interesting. One of the things that comes out in an interview like this is where you see her lack of, I want to say, training. Certainly I would have that same issue. I am not particularly trained in these type of skills, going back and forth in an interview situation like that. Now, she has certainly developed a degree of those skills, but when I go back to college, I think about my acting classes, I think about the things that I have been through and how you do get trained on specifics when you're in this type of environment and you're going to classes in production and you're doing all of these things, and you go back and forth and you get trained on how to debate and all of these things. And Candace, I believe her husband is her producer on her show. So I don't know how much input that he's given her, but to go back on herself like that and to forget the very things that she said, she should be making notes of the things that she said when she's talked to Piers Morgan before, so that she has those in front of her, so she doesn't go back on him. It's a simple way to have avoided this, but it is not a good look for her. And it's been like, I haven't been able to watch her lately because, to me, it's the timing is, in my personal viewpoint, just disrespectful. To me, it's a, you know, if you wanted to start all this a year from now, maybe do your investigations in the background and then talk about it after the passing, you know, after the mourning period is over and all of this, fine. But Erica Kirk has 2 little children, and she's just trying to be a mom, and she's trying to run a company, and it's very, very difficult, and she shouldn't have to deal with this right now. And so it's been a whole difficult thing to watch. But at the same time, when you see Candace do this, you're like, okay, so what does she really have? Can she even be trusted with her own?
What I think happened, Ron, is I think that she was scheduled to go on Piers Morgan prior to the private meeting being scheduled that she had to have with Erica Kirk. And I think Erica Kirk, this is my speculation here, but I think it's based on some strong speculation. I think that the lawyers came in with Erica to sit down with Candace, and I think that Candace was not prepared then to go on Piers Morgan and no, I can't say the things I've been saying, or else I'm gonna lose my $150 million net worth real fast. So here's the interesting thing about this is that Megyn Kelly, just prior to the Piers Morgan interview, had essentially tied herself to Candace Owens and attacked her own viewers. The timing can't be worse because, again, it was a complete and total train wreck on Piers Morgan. Here's what Megyn Kelly had to say just prior to it. And now you got to wonder, how much is she regretting this? I'll also say, too, that our good friend Carrie Smith over at Deprogrammed did a takedown of Megyn Kelly in the responses, and Megyn Kelly blocked her, which I think is just not very courageous at all. And Carrie Smith, of course, is a very logical and kind person, very empathetic. So Megyn, do better than that. Here's Megyn Kelly tying herself to Candace just prior to Candace with Piers.
So in any event, Candace knows I disagree with her on this. Petty internet people want to turn that into a cat fight between Candace and yours truly, which will fail. She and I actually have only gotten closer over the past couple of months as people try to make me attack her. So fuck off. And
apologies, folks. I thought this video had the bleeped version. It does not. There you go.
I'll just say this final thing. To the hateful people whom I used to call friends, who have been all over the internet trying to shame me and say that no one should ever listen to this program again because I haven't spoken out on the Erica-Candace conflict. I don't have any pearls of wisdom other than go fuck yourself.
And again, I thought that was bleep. So we'll stop there. Let's Megyn keep going. Apologies on that, ladies and gentlemen, if you got kids around. We did not intend for that to happen. But Megyn Kelly is someone who has joined up. Now, what she's saying is that she disagrees with Candace that Turning Point USA actually deleted Charlie. But in every other thing, she's defended Candace. So that's amazing. So this is kind of like the train wreck explosion at the end, right? This is the burning out of these individuals, I think. I think they've misplayed this so badly that their numbers are going to fall off dramatically. I want one more clip so you understand, just so you can understand, then I'm going to go to Lauren. But just so you can understand how badly this Piers Morgan thing went, how exposing it was, and the fact that Megyn Kelly tied herself up to this, you just couldn't have worse timing. Like you couldn't pick a worse day. In the last 100 days, you could not have picked a worse day to have that go out there and to say those kinds of pejoratives that you all heard, and I'm apologizing for because we didn't intend for them to happen on the channel. Thought we had the different version. But you couldn't pick a worse day in the last 100 days to do this because this happened in the same 24-hour news cycle. So now both of them are being played together, just like they are here on this channel. Here is Candace with Piers Morgan on a completely separate issue, just so you can see how this played out.
And I think we're going to see the same thing with Brigitte Macron and you, is that he was weaponizing deliberate lies for money. And I think you
Brigitte
did that.
Macron has a penis. I really want you to know
Brigitte Macron
that.
does not have a penis.
Brigitte Macron has a penis.
No, she doesn't.
I'm sorry.
She had 3 children.
Did she get it removed?
She had 3 children.
Yeah, you can have adoptive children. You can call somebody, but Brigitte Macron was born a dude named Jean-Michel Trogneau. Well, and I just feel, I want you to know that. I want you to know that Brigitte Macron probably stands peeing up. Probably peeing standing up is what I want you to know.
The beauty is we have a big bet.
I think Brigitte
we have
stands.
a big bet, and we're going to find out because it's going to court. And, you will lose that court case. I think
we'll just pause it there where Piers is like, you're going to lose.
Like of all the things in the world to care about, like, I get it. There are people out there that have all kinds of crazy things. And I'm a Christian. I would like if everyone follow Jesus. Am I going to do anything in my life that is going to say that legally everyone has to? That's not what I'm saying here. But the proclivities of the president or the prime minister or whatever they have in France right now and his spouse matters so very little in my life that why would anyone want to even bother to voice this opinion? Because as a person who is a red-blooded conservative, I thoroughly have to put Candace's opinion here in the I don't care, and I actually don't understand why you would care in this. What I think she's doing is probably just grifting, but whatever.
Here's where it matters, Jonas. The conservative commentary class that forms the new media. I love putting this all together for everybody. Whatever you think of Candace, whatever you think of her statements, you can think that Brigitte Macron is a dude. You can think that. And as Jonas said, who cares? I don't care. Listen, the United States has plenty of stuff to worry about, and I am not worried about France because France is an interesting place. Been there. Love some of the people there. But France has a completely different set of issues, and we got plenty of our own. But the conservative commentary crowd has been hijacked for the last 3 months. And you can agree with what she says, maybe. But the commentary class that should have been saying, hey, look what they did to Charlie. They'll do it to us. We should have seen the FBI everywhere. We should have seen everybody come together. We should have seen the existential threat that exists against those who wish to have free speech in a public domain. We should have seen a national response to it. And instead, that was shattered by the claims that TPUSA was complicit in all this stuff. And the commentary class was terrified to touch it because they thought, I don't want this movement that has formed to come after me. And the reason, Jonas, that I think it matters now is because I think we're seeing the end of that. Now, you can agree with her. You can disagree with her. You can agree with Megyn. You can disagree with Megyn. You can agree with Tucker. You can just set that to the side for a moment. And folks, look at it from the aerial view. I think we're coming to the end of whatever this has been. And the next step is on the way. The next step is on the way. And what is that next step going to be? Because the next step is going to take us in the midterms. What is the new media going to be hyper-focused on? What are we going to focus on instead of what this has been?
Well, I hopefully not whatever Macron is got going on in the bedroom. To me, I think that there is a certain class of influencer out there that they want the drama more than they want the truth, and they can fantasize about the truth being something that is bizarre and I hate to say inconsequential when it comes down to it. I don't know if even if there was something proven that happened in either of these instances, I don't know what material effect it has here. With someone like this coming in and basically poisoning the space and making it to where we all look like fools for having someone talk like this. I'm not talking about pushing someone out. I'd much rather have more speech than less speech. Really, when it comes down to it, the people who try to say, no, I am the voice of the entire movement, those are the ones that become a problem for the rest of us. We need more discourse, not less discourse. But man, I would really like for whatever this is to be seen for what it is, which is just narcissism on the part of a few people who want to make it about them instead of making it about the actual truth.
And Lauren, what I would say too is, there have been so many voices that were removed from the conversation. Jordan Peterson, Dennis Prager, Dan Bongino up until until this January coming up, right? We can keep going through all the voices. Charlie Kirk, the voices that were removed from the online national conversation. And I think as we watch now this changing of the guard, I wonder who's going to be the voice. Who are going to be the voices who take now that new lead in next year? And I don't know who that's going to be necessarily, Lauren, but I don't think it's going to be the same people who we've been listening to mostly for the past 3, 4, 5 years. I think it's going to change. I think there's a new paradigm coming in where the American people are going to be looking for new voices that bring sensible answers for their problems. And I don't think that the wiener or lack thereof of France, I don't think that is what people are clamoring for to save them from the problems they face in society today. I just don't think that matters so much.
So let me make a prediction, and this is going to be kind of a multi-point affair, I think, because the first thing that I want to say is I get annoyed with people who label themselves independents, because I think that that's a very convenient position to take as a fence sitter when you don't want to take a side. When you want to point out that really both parties are different faces of the same coin, and we're all
uniparty.
That annoys the heck out of me. You got to have some principles somewhere. There's a lot of people making the case that Meghan and Candace were never really conservatives, that they were liberal and came over to this side. I don't really want to wade into that debate either. I think that I disagree with Jonas a little bit in the sense that, Jonas, you're saying you don't want to push Candace out and more speech the better. Sure, I agree with that, but I also think that Candace can speak to an empty room.
Yeah.
I want to starve her of oxygen because I think that she's dangerous for the country and for our side of the aisle. I think where the voice is going to come from is it's not going to come from any personality. It's going to come from the voters. And one of the things that I think is dangerous about this upcoming year, and it's one of the things that I've been beating the drum on for a little bit lately, is I'm one of those guys who's starting to become disappointed in Trump's performance because he took his eye off the ball. The issue was the economy. That's what people wanted fixed. And he's become embroiled in foreign affairs, which are important, but he let things go too far to where he's in danger of becoming a lame duck. And I don't know that Trumpism can survive without Trump. It's been a marriage of convenience between a lot of disparate groups who have different values. But the one thing everybody can agree upon is economic opportunity across the board. That's what we want. We want the government getting out of the way. We want interest rates down. We want a viable job market where there's some mobility and ability to move up the ladder. We want affordable housing. I think that's what everybody can agree on. I don't think it matters what side of the aisle you're on. I don't think it matters what race, gender, class you are. We want the American dream that used to exist, and it's in danger of vanishing if we keep following this kind of nonsense. So I think the voter is going to be the one who tells everybody what is really important. It's not going to be the personalities, the talking heads, the politicians, any of that. It's going to be us expressing our anger if they don't clean up their act.
And Lauren, it's all about the economy. It's all about the economy.
It is the economy, stupid. I don't know how many times you have to repeat it.
That's right. People want to be able to afford their houses. They want to be able to afford to take their kids out to eat. They want to be able to afford to go to the movies. That's becoming exceedingly difficult. And you can sideshow that for a little while, talking about what's in the pantsuit of leaders of France. But I'm here to tell you, that will not carry water much longer because the midterms are coming up. And that's not going to play out.
I do want to make the point. I think that his address last night was a good idea. And I think that if he is making a pivot to start making his case there, great. But Congress also has to act. We need to address things like health care, which is an important issue right now and is leading to a lot of economic despair for a lot of people. Those things have to be addressed. Congress is not functioning. Most of our government is not functioning in the way it was intended. So that's why he was so important when Elon was working with Doge, was to try and clean out the dead wood, eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse. That's what I think the American people are really looking for.
Mark my words, ladies and gentlemen. Just listen to this, okay? In the next 6 months, there are going to be new outlets, new communicators. There are going to be people who speak logic into this that are going to rise. And as Lauren said, they're going to represent the greater American society that's saying, hey, we need to fix this. And these other voices that are devolving in this stuff, That doesn't bring me more stuff to my house. That doesn't put produce on my table. That doesn't help me out with my salary, my income, my health insurance, etc. You're going to see a change coming because people are looking for sensible speaking personalities out there that carry them into success. That's where this is going, I believe. Tom, any thoughts on this one from a utilitarian standpoint? Didn't play out real well going on Pierce Morgan, eh?
Yeah, I have very little to add to this. So, I mean, I kind of get what Lauren is saying, and I agree with that we were bound to hit a point where, clearly there's a lot of people that are kind of would appear to be, in agreement for the longest time, and you're going to start getting into the nitty gritty now. So I think we bypassed, this point politically, where I think we're going to start seeing some separations again. And I've started to feel it in our own community even. And again, this is coming from somebody who's traditionally more on the left and has been more centrist / conservative as of the last few years just because of the way things are going. But, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that everything's hunky-dory and roses and all that kind of stuff either.
And if work isn't made to fix that, then nothing is going to go the way that I think those on the right wish for it to go. Nothing's going to work between this coalition of the center and the right if the domestic issues aren't fixed up and the people speaking into issues that are just in Nutsville after a while. When it comes down to food on the table, every time the wackadoodle stuff is going to lose out to that. Get ready, folks, because that's on the way. All right, folks, as we get ready to say goodbye to Ron, want to let Ron have the chance to tell you all what's going on his channel. Ron, where can they find you?
Follow the Bradleys Fun on YouTube. We just put up we've got the Cracker Barrel review that is out there. It's not good. Thanksgiving was less than desirable, but there it is. And then we've got a bunch of information about SeaWorld and Universal and the parks. And by the way, I got to say, SeaWorld it's not Dollywood level. It's not Silver Dollar City level for Christmas. But as far as Christmas is concerned, if you want Christmas in Orlando, that is the park to get to. It is the most Christmassy of any of the parks in Orlando, including the fact that they actually do tell the story of Jesus Christ in a live show that is pretty spectacular. Last night, took my family, tears rolling. The camels came on the stage.
It's only too bad that Shamu ate the camels. It was inappropriate that Shamu was allowed to eat the camels, frankly.
Yeah, right. But it's amazing. So all that stuff is on the channel, and then more of that coming up. So, and of course,
there you go.
The dish Wednesday before the pro show, 7 to 9 p.m. Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. The dish, and then after that, Park Place on Wednesday at 2 p.m.
All right, get on over to Ron at Follow the Bradleys Fun. Folks, you've never had so much fun as over there where he's covering everything under that Central Florida sun. Ron, Merry Christmas, buddy. We'll see you soon.
Merry Christmas. See you. Bye.
All right, Jonas, we have some unfortunate bad news to cover as Ron hops on out of here. Got to let everybody know that in the real news world of stuff that's going on, there has been a plane crash in North Carolina. Details just coming out of that one. Looks like there's going to be multiple fatalities. We're not going to report exactly how many that is because, things can change. And we're not going to report that out of the news networks and get that wrong because it's all they're reporting, not ours. But multiple fatalities reported in North Carolina with a plane crash. And we wish all the families and those affected condolences and sincerity. I've got family members that are flying today. And so to hear that this has happened is, one of those unpleasant things.
Everybody's okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Jonas, let's get to the super chats, sir.
All right. Packy Protons for $5. Are Candace, Kelly, Piers, etc. really true conservatives? Most, if not all, were leftists who saw the tide change. Kelly just blamed the audience.
I think all three of those, the comparison I made on the Patreon recently, I think all three of those would land in the thermometer category as opposed to the thermostat category, right? Thermometers read the room and reflect it. Thermostats work to make a change in the room that's needed. And so I think that there's nothing wrong with being a thermometer. It's a different business strategy. So long as the audience understands what is being done. And once you get it, and suddenly everything makes sense.
Yeah. I also don't trust people who have no sense of humor whatsoever. So
shut up, you.
What, Candace Owen? She has no real sense of humor. If you mock her, she's just going to come up with some narcissistic reason why you're wrong, not some way to laugh it off and whatever, reflect it back. Bagging Protons for $5. New voices are CobraCast and Renegade Nation.
Ooh, go Renegade Nation, go CobraCast, Jeremy and Valiant. Love them both.
Yep, Renegade Online. Bagging Protons for $5. Trump seems to believe in this country. Dems and pubs do not. They just want to become famous and rich. Cut company donations. Should fix that.
I think we should eliminate day trading in Congress. That would be a great start. I would like to see, well, I could go through the things we'd like to see, but unfortunately, we don't currently have a strong enough gumption in the legislation to do a lot of things that I want, but term limits would solve a lot of problems. I take some optimism in some of the things that Elon Musk is up to secretly, privately, behind the scenes. And I think that part of what he did was with Doge. I think he looked behind the curtains and said, there is so much corruption here that it can't be fixed from in. It's going to have to be fixed from outside. And I think that's happening right now.
Big Blue Horses for $5. Sorry to hear about your avatar. POTUS has until off-year elections to get stuff done. After that election, he's a lame duck. If Dems win, historically likely, get ready, impeach 2.0. That is true. The Dems are going to get seats back, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in this coming year.
I think he has 8 months. He has 8 months to really do something spectacular domestically, or else it's going to be a tragedy for the conservatives who believed in him.
Mm-hmm. Packing Protons for $2, breaking Venezuela troops preparing for war.
Well, they need to prepare for food first.
With who? With us? That's an interesting idea.
I need food.
Views with Hughes, culture and news for $2. Kids got 6 to 7 U's. Wait.
Kids got 6, 7. Us millennials had Little John.
The number of times I have to remind my children that 7 sequentially just comes after 6. It's not actually.
This is at least 6, 7 times you've messed this up. I don't know what's going on, man.
Us millennials had a Little John. What? Anyways, irate specialist for $2. Candace Owen is like a less funny Kelly Kapoor. Kelly's hilarious.
Yeah. Okay, I did not think about Candace being compared to Kelly Kapoor. All right.
I would compare her more to, what's her name? The one who talked about how her husband was the senator, the state senator.
That's better. I thought you were going to say Lisa, and I was going to be offended by you, but that's better.
Oh, no, Lisa's
goodness.
Hard.
All right, folks, let's get to the next news item. This is one of my favorites. We've saved this. I don't know if this last story, but it's one of the best stories. It really is, because I'm going to give you a masterclass in understanding how the media tries to twist you into circles. It's just gloriously bad, okay? Jonas, do you need to get out of here, buddy? Do you need to go?
Yeah, I'm supposed to do some Geeks and Gamers website stuff. I got to get out of here. Skedaddle and all those things.
Skedaddle, skedoodle. All right, Jonas J. Campbell, get out there and go doodle some more excellence wherever you are. And thanks for being here, buddy. Happy days and Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Awesome. See you later, sir. Bye.
Awesome to the possum. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom, get ready. You're going to love this one, too. Let's get started. Folks, here we go. It's the woke apocalypse continuing on. No matter what they tell you, the markets have moved on from woke. And the Hollywood Reporter is furious about it. They're angry at it. Tony Maglio can't stand it. Angry at you. Angry at the market. Here we go. Nearly 92% of the top scripted streaming series come from white creators. Women in leading roles slipped from 39% last year to 34.3% in UCLA's latest diversity on streaming TV report. Now, this is made to make you think that Hollywood is not supporting the right things anymore. Oh, we're not doing enough. Oh, we have not committed hard enough. Folks, pay close attention to how this is worded, because really, they're furious at you. The article says diversity in Hollywood is maybe not as diverse as you'd think in these modern times. See? The latest UCLA study, Hollywood Diversity Report Presents Streaming Television 2024, found that 91.7% of the top scripted shows on streaming have white creators. Even more granularly, 78.9% have white male creators. And not all of them are Taylor Sheridan. UCLA studied 224 scripted series among the top 250 television programs. Of those, 27 had Black, Indigenous, and people of color creators, 49 had a female creator, and 2 did not have a clearly identifiable show creator. Here's the graph they want you to see. Share of all show creators by race and ethnicity for top streaming scripted series in 2024. Who are they really angry at? Well, folks, embedded in this story is a lesson for all of us. Because I'm going to tell you, Hollywood and people like the writers at the Hollywood Reporter, it's their fault. They don't want to admit it. And I'll tell you why, because woke did this. The woke apocalypse is here. Folks, how do you get a pie chart that looks like that, where 91.7% of the top streaming shows were written by white people? The first thing you have to understand is that this is not 91.7% of all streaming shows. That would be drastically different. This is the top streaming shows as determined by viewership. Now, how do you manage to cause this? Because this should be unnatural. It should be. How so, you say? Well, because the population isn't 91.7% white in Hollywood. And therefore, if every race is equally creative, and I believe they are, then it should be impossible to have nearly 92% of the top scripted streaming series come from white peeps. Do you know how they did this? Do you know how woke caused this? Ladies and gentlemen, think through this with me. Are you ready? Hey, Tony Maglio, ponder with me for a moment. What is the expectation when these people put someone of color in charge of a show? What does Hollywood allow them to write about? Lauren, in the woke enterprise, they're allowed to write about their lived-in experience, their truth, right? Seldomly are people now allowed to write about something bigger and broader. And what does that mean? Hollywood, in its chase for wokeism, has created a system where white people write about big, broad stories that feature diverse casts of everybody, and the other groups have to write about only things that interest their group, their tribe, in the woke effort. That's what they've done. That they have destroyed Hollywood. And the woke movement has destroyed the success of everybody except white dudes. Because this is unnatural, Lorne. This isn't possible unless you actually do a system that destroys everybody except the white dudes, and then you get mad about it and you pout about it, and you never admit, oh, wait a minute. I think we did this to ourselves. Lorne, what in the world? How can they not see that they've done this by doing this thing where everything that comes from non-white dudes has to be woke and only speak to the living experience of the people who made it, and therefore isn't universally identifiable by others? How do they not see this, Lauren?
Well, they have an incentive to protect an agenda that benefits them. I'm not sure I agree with the premise, though, because from my standpoint, it is primarily white writers that are told that they can't write about anybody else's lived experience. You can't write, for instance, a queer story. You can't write a story about any other ethnicity. You are locked into writing a story about somebody of Caucasian descent, and likely only if they are portrayed in a negative light. Whereas I think for anybody from any other recognized protected class, they're allowed to write about essentially anything that they want. The rules are less strictured for them as to whether they could write somebody of a different ethnicity, for instance, because the assumption there is that the default is that white normative is going to be negative, and so that's how it's going to be portrayed. Does that make sense?
Lauren, you're exactly right, except for, and this is why this article is so deceptive. You're exactly right, except for, we're not talking about writers. We're talking about creators. In the writing room, Lauren, you're exactly correct. And in the writing room, they've added these, there are these quotas now that basically make it where it's almost impossible to be a white dude in the writing room. But Hollywood has created a system where the creators of these series, they're typecasting their creators. Hollywood has created a system, Lauren, where if you are a black woman, what does the Hollywood executive demand of you? Why are they hiring you to create something? Because you have to make a program that speaks to your experience as a black woman. Now, the problem with that is that the white dude can write about any crazy thing, any kind of sci-fi thing, anything. And they're forcing the people who are not white dudes, who are creators, to come up with concepts, because essentially that's what a creator is, right? It's a concept comer-upper. And what do you do if you're a concept person? Well, if you're being hired based on, and this is, Hollywood has put this out there as a secret that's allowed to be said, if you're being brought on to write about your experience based on your immutable differences, it tends to be that you might have a very fervent fan base, but you can't have a huge fan base because you're probably not writing a show that speaks to the experience of so many others. You've become myopic, and that's the system they've built.
I don't know. I don't know that they actually put that much thought into it. You're saying that they are being pigeonholed into writing their own lived experience. I'm not sure it's even that. I think they're just hiring somebody to tick off the box so that they meet the established quota that is required. I don't think they care about the content. That just happens to be a byproduct of the people that are put into those roles. I don't know that it's being mandated. I think that's just the way it works out once you have that mandated quota.
Tom, what are your thoughts? So I think that it's synthetic, but it's unintentional due to ineptitude. Lauren believes that it's organic, right? Lauren, you think this is just an organic action that's just happening?
I don't think you can call it organic if you have a quota for who's going to fill what kind of roles or what percentage of what type of people have to be on your development team. I don't think that's organic, but I'm also not certain that they're saying this is the only kind of content that we want from you. I think there's just a propensity from people that are put in those showrunner roles that are of a particular checkbox group that's what they're going to write about, if that makes sense.
Tom, what are your thoughts? Because it seems to me this is impossible. Like, this statistic has to come from a system that actually creates this. And so I believe, as you get ready to weigh in, I also don't believe we're going to get an article anytime soon that says nearly 92% of the top performing athletes in the NFL and the NBA are non-white athletes. I don't think that they're offended in some ways about that. Tom, what are your thoughts?
Boy, I mean, it's a strange. I kind of see where both of you are coming from, and I can't disagree with either. And I don't know enough about what the stipulations are still in the writers' rooms and in the creative roles in Hollywood. I mean, I know what script doctors talked about. I mean, and he'll be one of the first to tell you that there is a change happening.
Right, which maybe this article hates, right? Because script doctor says the change happened in about 2022.
Yeah, it's starting to take effect, or however you want to look at it. I mean, the number one guy in TV right now is a white dude, right?
Mr. Sheridan.
As that picture points out there. And this is actually kind of related to what just happened this last week with Avengers. And I know you guys might know what I'm talking about here because we're going to drop a video on it soon.
Back to Civil War 2.0, right, Tom?
Yeah. So like all of a sudden you have the white boys showing up again, and the usual customers are losing their little freaking minds, right?
But again, okay, wait though, Tom, because they did it to themselves. How? Yeah. Okay, so in Marvel, you actually have these really cool characters of all different races that we would love to see. We want to see Blade. We want to see Storm. Do they give us Blade and Storm? No! They give us She-Hulk. And they give us, hey, what if we race swap this character and that character? We don't give you a reason to care about them. Just, they've got the same shield, darn it, watch them.
You're not wrong. Like, and She-Hulk is a great example of a character that was popular, but then they went and made her insufferable, right? And then the same thing with this Captain America deal. You're 100% right. Like, they're blaming the audience for Disney making the decision and the Russos making the decision to bring back Steve Rogers. When it's like, well, it wouldn't be that way if people didn't reject Sam as Captain America in the last movie. I mean, it was almost universally panned, and it was a flop at the box office. What do you think is going to happen? Sorry, go ahead, Lauren.
I was just thinking, Blade should be the easiest slam dunk in the world to do. It's simple. You've got a badass vampire hunter. That it's
you want to know how to fix this? You just let Ryan Reynolds run the MCU. Because Ryan Reynolds is the only person who's smart enough to go, why are we not getting an Old Man Blade movie?
Right.
Like, how hard is it to let Wesley Snipes go work out for a couple of months while you write a quick script that's literally just about Wesley Snipes going in and killing a bunch of vampires in a building, a la Dead, like Dread and what's that action film that everybody loves, the Raid, right? Just do something cheap like that. How hard is that?
That's the other thing, is that you'd be able to keep the budget down easy because it doesn't need to be a massive special effects flick, and yet here we are. They want to make him a side character in his own movie so they can showcase his daughter.
Oh, wait a minute. So Tom, if I understand this right, you're saying that the answer to this fury that Tony Maggio feels,
give it over to a white boy,
is to give even more to Ryan Reynolds, give him the entire MCU.
At this point, he's the only one who seems to get it.
That's
right. Like, I'm sorry, Deadpool and Wolverine is a very underrated film in some respects, because a lot of people are like, oh, just turn your brain off and it's a popcorn movie. I'm like, no. Step back and take a look at that movie. Ryan Reynolds is literally, up the butt, okay, through that whole movie. Disney is the bad guy through the whole movie. He's telling you Marvel sucks now, right? And he's the only one giving the audience what they want. And not only does he give the audience what they want, he's almost doing it in a teasing way, because you get Blade, but he gives you a character we never got before with Channing Tatum, right? Like, so it's he gets it. He's what the audience cheered through that whole movie, right? Like, yes, there was some people who didn't like it. I'm not going to say there's not, but the overall majority enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And what's the one thing that's about the two big hits they've had since Endgame? Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider-Man. What's the things that are the most similar between those two things? And I'm sure you guys know where I'm going with this. There's very pro-male and friend and such stories in it, right? It's the first time Zendaya gets out of Peter Parker's way and actually helps him, right? So you had a lot of people that are like, oh, I can't believe they actually made the third movie really good. And I don't think it has everything to do with Tobey and Andrew Garfield coming back. I think people were just actually finally happy to see this Spider-Man actually finally take the mantle as Spider-Man, right? Like, yeah, the first two movies were but this movie, I think, really established that. But they had very strong male positive points through both of them, right? Like, Spider-Man, of course, is about Peter Parker growing to be the man that he should be through sacrifice and loss. And it's the same thing with Wolverine, right? In Deadpool and Wolverine, and the same thing with Deadpool. Like, he has to learn, that, he doesn't need the Avengers, because the Avengers need to be there for other people. And then Wolverine, on the other end, has to make up for the crap that he did in his world. And it's both about them becoming better men, right? Like, at the end of the day. So you got two films where that's their main, like, core of what they're about. And why do I think that resonated with the audience? Because for the last 10 years, men have been told that we're nothing but pieces of crap. That's true. Why. And I'm being as nice as I can with the language, since the F word already got thrown out there.
Hey, Tom, permission for us to keep Blake Lively, though, away from the MCU if we do this.
Sure.
I appreciate that. Hey, folks, here's one thing. I think all three of us agree on this. 92% of the top scripted streaming series coming from white guys. That doesn't happen unless you have a corrupt Hollywood. They are so stupid that they put in these systems and they actually make things worse. Folks, listen to me, okay? We think people of all races and all backgrounds are just as creative as they can be. And everywhere else in America does better than Hollywood. While Hollywood stands on their soapbox and preaches to you and then cries and whines and complains, the market just won't buy the stuff. They are the ones who did this to themselves. They are the ones who created whatever is happening here. Lauren has an idea on it. I have an idea on it. Tom has an idea on it. The one thing we know, we could beat this, and so could you. And America is turning against the woke Hollywood elites. The woke apocalypse continues. Folks, it's been a fun one. I am heading now to go watch Avatar in the theater. It's a 4-hour time commitment. Woof. But I'm going to go watch it. I'm going to keep an open mind. I'm going to enjoy the popcorn, maybe. Actually, probably not, because it's the holidays, so I probably need to watch what I'm eating. But I'm definitely going to have a Coke Zero. That's going down. Tom Connors has things going down over at Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark. Tom, tell the folks out there where they can find you and what you're up to these days, please, sir.
Well, I'm still in YouTube jail, so until I get monetized again, I've kind of just been, just kind of letting everybody know what's been going on.
Now, Tom, I'm going to give you some advice.
Show. Yeah.
I'm going to give you some advice. Normally we do this privately, but I'll tell you this. Consider, since we're here on the show, consider continuing to put out content, because if you don't, then if they reverse course and you've not been putting out content, you're also screwed in the algorithm. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I've been trying to make sure at least I go live when I normally would go live, just to give everybody kind of a State of the Union. So I'll probably do at least that tonight if worse comes to worse. So yeah.
There you go. And Lauren can be found on Lauren and Apollo. Comes on Tuesdays and Fridays here on the channel at 11 p.m. Eastern. And Lauren is also part of the Genre Guys. For those of you who received a membership, enjoy the Genre Guys. We've got more coming out on the way. And of course, Lauren will be featured in many of our upcoming trailers, such as this one.
In a world in which franchises are being broken every day, only one man, cloned, can save the day. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll wipe smog from your eyes. Join Lorne Connor as he takes on an epic quest. It's Lord of the Rings.
One sword to guide me, one heart to bind me.
All I have to do is drop it at a time now, Frodo Lord. My fingers don't want to let go.
All right, folks, we will see you back here at 9 p.m. Eastern for the live Out of the Theater honest review of Avatar. Look forward to seeing everybody here, and I'll let you know if I think this one is going to go belly up. Is this the end? I'm hearing that it's not written narratively as if it's the end. So if this is the last one, it's a trilogy that was never intended to be a finale. It could be one of those where they're just like, and it fades out. So leave no doubt, folks. We'll have the answers for you tonight. Come join us on the Pro Channel tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. We'd love to have you here. It's always a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. You're seen, you're appreciated, you're heard. You're gone on over to Vacation Radio. And folks, we'll see you real soon. Until the next time.
Sir?
Yes?
One more super chat came in.
Thank you. I would have been irate at myself for missing this one from Irate. For $4.99, here's my theory. Hollywood is full of shallow, vain, self-important, trend-chasing, boot-licking, toe-sniffing, that's mine, virtue-signaling sycophants. That's right. Who all of them, I don't care what they were born with, they all want to wear suit pants. Not sweatpants. Pantsuits. Sorry. I had to get the rhyme, Lauren. I reversed it. You know what? Fine.
The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint.
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So folks, as we always say, as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.